Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees all of the fan outcry and petitions paying off as the man himself gets to finish his vision in Zack Snyder's Justice League, hitting store shelves along with the 1982 horror classic The Thing getting a 4K upgrade, and Disney Movie Club is releasing 3 Blu-ray exclusives: The Watcher in the Woods, Flight of the Navigator, and Something Wicked This Way Comes. Ooh, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, we are in at Walmart, and let's be real. Did you expect anything less? Seriously, guys, come on, man. Oh, yes, yet again, we have no new releases out this week. Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, they don't have In the Heights still. They do not have any of that out. This is the second week for that. They don't even have any tags out for Justice League or any of the newer stuff other than, same old things we've been seeing. Conjuring, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, Batman Long Halloween, Quiet Place Part 2, MK. Yeah, not much. I mean, they do have one thing, though, and one thing we didn't see last week at any of the stores, and that is Fear the Walking Dead, the complete 6th season. Geez, at least we see it at some place, and we happen to see it at the one place where we usually never see any new releases. That's kind of wild to me, guys, but hey, at least we're seeing it, man. I gotta admit, see, I've told you guys many times, I've kind of fallen out of love with The Walking Dead. I really have, man, and I don't know whether the storylines were growing old to me or whether it was no longer really exciting. It was the same old thing all the time. I felt the villains were getting kind of weak sauce. People have told me The Walking Dead has gotten better and that I should check it out. Maybe when the series is all over, I'll give it a look, possibly. But with Fear the Walking Dead, from the very beginning, I was never really a fan of it. I wasn't. I mean, I watched the first 6 to 8 episodes of Fear, and I wasn't really getting into it. I didn't really like the characters or the situations. I was kind of bored by the show, and I walked away from it. And from everyone that's told me over the course of doing these videos, they've said to me, where The Walking Dead was faltering, Fear the Walking Dead was getting better. And I'm like, seriously? And they're like, yeah, man. I mean, they were upping their game. They were getting better storylines, better characters. The zombie action was much cooler. And I was like, okay. But I didn't really ever want to dive back into it again, simply because I had missed so much of it anyway. So I decided probably to cut my losses and not dive in again. But the fact that Lenny James is here, and I love that character from The Walking Dead show, that kind of intrigues me. That kind of does, actually, man. I mean, not gonna lie, it kind of wants to get me in the door yet again. Is it worth diving into more zombie action? Is it worth diving into Fear the Walking Dead, the 6th season, if I really haven't watched the other 5 seasons? Is it worth really delving into it? Or should I just kind of wait? Because I'm doing the same with The Walking Dead. Once The Walking Dead is all over with and it's done, I'm probably then going to go back and start to watch all the previous seasons and start to dive back into it again and finish it all off. Should I just wait? At a certain point, I think the problem with any zombie show is that at a certain point, it sort of wears out its welcome. But the opposite has been with Fear. It seems like at first it wore out its welcome, and then it actually got better. And usually it's the complete opposite, but this kind of bucks that trend. I'm liking Lenny James in here. I'm hearing he's really badass in this thing. I'm hearing it's gotten better with the storylines and more of the connection with the Walking Dead universe. Is it worth giving a chance to? I've been burnt by The Walking Dead before, and the zombie genre, not gonna lie, is getting pretty damn tiresome. Is it worth taking a trip back into The Walking Dead land? You guys are definitely gonna have to let me know. Oh, hey! Look what I found, guys! The Justice League movie! Dude! Yeah! I found it! Oh, for $6.96, that's an awesome price, man! Oh, don't you just love this Justice League movie? I really love this Justice League movie, man. Oh, man, Joss Whedon did such an awesome job here. I mean, Cyborg's backstory was so cool, and Black Suit Superman was so great. Wait a minute. This isn't the Justice League movie I was looking for. Oh, God. No. Fuck. Fucking hell. Oh, the one Justice League movie that they actually have, and that's the one I don't want to see. God damn it, man. It is a bargain for $6.96, though. To wipe my ass with. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I'm looking for much better Justice League. One that doesn't actually look like toilet paper to me. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Okay, so we didn't find the Justice League we were looking for. Well, that sucks. But they also have, by the way, guys, a little bit of indie love as well. They have these 3 indie films: Synapse, The Future is a Memory, Shimmer, and Shadowland, which is kind of weird. All for $9.96. And they're these cheapo Echo Bridge releases. That is so weird. So you're telling me that Walmart will supply shitty Echo Bridge titles but not put out the new releases for the week or the last 2 weeks? Right. Oh man, I'm so done. Jesus, seriously? Oh, these look like real winners. But where's the actual ones I'm looking for? Oh boy. Okay, well, better luck next time, I suppose. More like next week. Alright. Sure, why not? We ain't finding shit here. But maybe somewhere else. Let's hope. So I just went over into the bathroom area here at Walmart, and they have no toilet paper. So I was thinking of buying this and wiping my ass with it. I mean, it would make for good toilet paper. But then again, spending $6.96 for toilet paper? Maybe one that might rub my ass the wrong way? Okay, I'll pass. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. The huge popular release of the week, the big one that everyone is anticipating. You would think they would have it. Boy, you are sadly mistaken. Hell, they don't even have the shit from last week. Did you really think they were going to have the shit from this week? No. I mean, mind you, they did have Fear the Walking Dead, so that is one thing from last week. But that's all, really. But they decided to put out the Echo Bridge stuff and not the major new releases. Walmart, I will never, ever figure you out. Never. I won't, guys. Oh, man. I don't know if you guys will, but, man, that's one thing when I die in the afterlife, I think I'm going to ask God, what the hell was up with Walmart, man? Jeez. Yeah, I kind of suspected we weren't going to get it this week, but, you know, the ever-hopeful optimist, I'm always hoping they bounce back. Now, better luck next time, I suppose, on that wish. But, yeah, not too much to show off here other than crappy Echo Bridge titles and Fear the Walking Dead, which, hey, it's nice to see. But, you know, better late than never, I suppose. And, oh, well, there was also my new toilet paper. I really don't want to get a rash. I'll put it down. Guess I'll have to find my toilet paper elsewhere. But I'm certainly not getting it here over at Walmart, that's for damn sure. At least not paying $6.96 for it. Well, we saw a little bit of physical media, not nearly what I was hoping for, but maybe at the next location? Let's check. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I got to talk to you guys about something. So I was reading this Collider article about Disney Plus. It's a little intriguing. Russo brothers' negotiations over directing another Marvel movie stalled after the Black Widow suit. Directors Joe and Anthony Russo have hit an impasse with Disney in negotiating a return to the world of Marvel movies. The Russos were said to be concerned about how the project would be released in the aftermath of Disney's restructured strategy owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the past year or so, the studio has released films such as Black Widow, Jungle Cruise, and Cruella simultaneously in theaters and Disney+. While Pixar titles such as Soul and Luca weren't given theatrical releases at all and went directly to Disney+. While it's unclear what project the Russo brothers would be working on, the directing pair has talked in the past how they would be excited about the possibility of adapting the Secret Wars, which would be absolutely huge and would be right down the Russo brothers' alley. That's for damn sure. Now, the article goes on to say that basically, while studios can expect to collect around 60% of revenue from movie theater tickets sold, Disney stood to make most of the premium access fee that streaming subscribers paid to watch Black Widow. And with them making all that money, sometimes certain actors or creators sort of get the short end of the stick. Kind of like Scarlett Johansson is doing right now. Yeah, with that whole suit happening, I mean, basically she was owed a lot of money. And because it went to streaming and the possibility of earning more money, she felt she got screwed over and she's suing. Whether you think it's right or wrong, it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that this is really putting a kink in Disney's plans and Marvel's plans. I mean, Kevin Feige must be pissed about this, man, if you think about it. I mean, the Russo brothers are really big right now, and they're big because of Marvel. They're big because of what they did with the Avengers movies, and this is a really great team up to do again. And this is a real bummer, but I understand why people like Scarlett Johansson or even other creators are hesitant about all this stuff because, look, I can't say that I blame Disney at the end of the day for what they did, putting these movies on Disney Plus for people who were hesitant in going to the movie theaters. I get it. I understand it. It makes sense to me. But here's the issue, and here's the overall deal in my honest opinion on this, is if you're going to do that, if you're going to put these movies on a streaming platform, it changes the game for creators, and it changes how content is viewed and absorbed and how the profits are going to be distributed, how many eyes are going to be on the project, how much earning potential these movies may or may not have. And you have to understand, somebody like the Russos, man, they're going to spend, 3, 4, maybe 5 years on an entire arc of movies that they will do with Marvel. And they don't want to put all that time and effort into this and to just see it go on a streaming platform and not have the eyes that they want to on it, or what potential they will have as creators if it just goes to a streaming platform. I mean, do you remember that whole thing when HBO Max really started the whole, like, hey, we're going to put stuff on the streaming service? Boy, man, directors and actors and everybody were so up in arms, and they were like, renegotiate my contract, renegotiate it. This is bullshit. And they really went out of their way to speak majorly about this issue. And I can't quite say that I blame them, but Disney is such a massive entity that Disney has actually kind of gotten away with it for the time being. They really have. But now this Scarlett Johansson thing has opened up a whole can of worms now that I don't think that Disney can really avoid at this point. I mean, look, who's to say that Luca or Soul was going to make a huge amount of money if they went to the theaters? Nobody knows that, but maybe they would have. And maybe this move sort of killed it. Could they have pushed it back more and then waited until the pandemic had died down a bit? It's possible. I mean, there's a lot of worry about what's going on the streaming service and what's not, and how the whole release model is reworking itself in a lot of ways. And we're very much in the infancy of that. There are so many companies that are figuring out what's right to put on a streaming platform, what's right to just leave in a movie theater, and what's right to do a little bit of both. There's no outright winning formula here. It's a case by case basis, and some cases are going to work well and some cases aren't. But when you look at something like Shang-Chi, that just made a huge amount of money at the box office, that was an only in theaters movie, and it paid off. Would it have been that big if they had just done a simultaneous Disney Plus and movie theater release? I don't know, but there's no telling, and no one can really know until it actually happens. But I understand the frustration of creators. It's a little bit of one side is not entirely wrong, one side is not entirely right. It's a mixture here. And they're going to have to figure this out and figure this out fast, because with something like a Marvel, their movies are planned way ahead of time, years ahead of time, and they have to have a schedule for how to release these movies and how to make them. And if that plan gets screwed up, it ends up putting a wrench in a lot of things. Like, you remember that whole thing with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I mean, we were supposed to get it already, and now it's going to be a couple more years before we do. Has that put a wrench in their plans? It probably has. But this is concerning, because if the Russos think that Disney might screw them over, they're not going to come back. And if they don't come back, that's a big hit to Marvel. So Disney has to reevaluate. I'm not saying completely get rid of the exclusivity of Disney Plus. I'm not saying to get rid of it, but at the end of the day, you have to tweak it, because these creators don't want to end up getting into lawsuits. They don't want to end up getting into these battles about earnings and about the potential of the box office. You need to have these creators feel comfortable and secure enough that they don't have to worry about that. They can just worry about the work. Easier said than done, but if Disney wants to keep these people around, they really got to play ball. I'm very curious how this ends up turning out, man. I'd love to see the Russos back, but if they have a lot of concerns, can't quite say I blame them. I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think about this. Definitely let me know. In the meantime, there's a few decent releases out there. Not that Walmart really had anything, but Target could potentially. They have been on a roll as of late. Let's see if they can continue that streak. Let's head in and check it out. All right, we are in at Target, and hey, look at the new release love. I'm liking that, baby. Indeed I am. Let's dive in with little Zack Snyder Justice League love. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray for $32.99, the Blu-ray for $26.99, and the DVD for $19.99. Look at that. Sweet. Look at that. Very, very nice. All the same artwork, so nothing really different. Just all the same stuff, but that's a pretty cool artwork, though, so, can't really blame them, man. But, oh, wow. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, as I showed you at Walmart, this is not the only Justice League movie that's out there. You remember that 2017 version of Justice League, right? You do remember it? Come on, let's be real. You've been racking up those therapy bills ever since, trying to talk your way into convincing you might have liked the movie, or that, how much it's traumatized you since. Yes. I mean, hell, I literally have PTSD having nightmares about the goddamn thing. Yeah, not a very good movie, guys. Ain't gonna lie, man. And this movie would not even exist if it wasn't for the fans. I mean, the fans went out of their way to petition like crazy, and the outcry to DC and Warner Brothers, and they got this movie made. And God bless their hearts and souls. I mean, seriously. Zack Snyder also had a little bit of a hand in it as well. Let's be real here. But the fans need to really congratulate themselves in a big bad way, because they got it accomplished. You know what it kind of reminds me of, actually? Being a huge fan of Jericho back in the day, and when season one ended, and that ended up not getting re-up for a second season, and fans were so pissed that they sent huge boxes of peanuts and everything to like corporate offices and you name it, and they got a second season. I mean, nothing past that, obviously, but more than what we ever hoped to get, which was really cool, man. I mean, not gonna lie, I don't want everything getting a director's cut or something like that. I mean, we'll leave the Suicide Squad the way it is. But it is cool to see the fans and the support that they have, and the fact that it does pay off, man. So I really do appreciate it, man. I really honestly do. It's really phenomenal. And this movie was everything that I wanted and more. I mean, seriously, it was amazing. And I think it's everything that fans wanted out of a Justice League movie. I think it's everything that they wanted out of this mega team-up action film, and it delivered in spades, man. I mean, yes, it is 4 hours long, and that's a problem. I mean, with being 4 hours long, the runtime does get a little bit stretched out, and there are moments when there's literally these slow motion scenes that feel like they're taking like 5 to 10 minutes long. You're sort of checking watch like, oh shit, Wonder Woman didn't move? Oh wait, yeah, she did. She moved an inch. Oh shit. How closer is she to the bad guy's face? And like 5 minutes later, she punches the bad guy in the face. Like, oh, okay. Well, it was a cool slow mo shot at least. I mean, that's sort of Zack Snyder's speciality. I mean, yes, it is a little bloated and overlong, and there is times when you could cut a lot of fat from the movie. To be fair, you really could. But that being said, the movie is a massive improvement over the 2017 film. It's a massive, massive, mega improvement, man, on every single level, whether it's the characterizations, whether it's the acting, the plot lines, the special effects, you name it. Everything is so much better, and more characters are completely fleshed out. I mean, the Flash gets more amazing scenes to show off why he's as spectacular of a character as he is. Cyborg, who benefits probably the most out of anybody in this cut, gets entire backstory, and you get to really understand why he is the way he is and why the decisions that his father made. You get Darkseid here, and they did an amazing job with Darkseid. Darkseid is menacing and intimidating and scary and incredibly impressive, man. And as somebody like myself who read so many Superman comics back in the day when I was a kid, seeing Darkseid realized on the screen was so massively amazing, and I was so blown away by it. I was almost in tears. I'm like, oh my god, this is realized in my lifetime. Darkseid, it was brilliant, and I just felt like the character interactions were so much better. I felt like it flowed better with the other DC films. I just think this is a massive improvement in every way, shape, and form, and it's a credit to Zack Snyder. It's a credit to his commitment to these storylines and these characters, and a lot of it really paying off in this film. And it's a credit to the fans who never really gave up on this movie. I mean, I'm serious, man. They never gave up on it. And there are so many times when, as a fan, you know, Warner Brothers says we're not going to make it. Or, yeah, they throw you a little bone of a concept art. It gets disheartening, but you keep on fighting the fight, and it works out, man. It really does. I thought everything was impressive here. I thought Superman was incredibly impressive with the black suit and the more character building. Obviously, seeing Martian Manhunter and seeing the possibilities of where this story could go. Zack Snyder made a brilliant movie. Yes, it's a little bloated and way overlong, but to deny that this is an improvement is to deny how good this film is, and it really is good, man. I mean, everything that I hoped DC could be is wrapped up in this film. And there's a lot of times when I doubted. I'm not gonna lie, man. There's many times when I doubted where any of this was going, and I looked at Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm like, I get it now. I understand it, and it is that amazing, that awesome, and this is what they needed to do. This is DC's Avengers, and they made it as impressive as that. And to me, this is a monumental achievement of a film that really does need to be celebrated just for the fact that it exists. It really does, man. But it's just an amazing film that really packs a punch for any comic book lover out there. And it is so, so, so impossibly well done that it cannot be denied, man. Amazing, amazing film, man. That as far as like a comic book lover geek that I am, it satisfied me in spades. Amazing. And anybody who calls themselves a superhero comic book movie fan, this is definitely a must watch. That is for damn sure. So I have another interesting new release here, Together for $9.99. That's interesting, with Ed Helms. Huh. Ken, would have been better. What is this about? When a young loner becomes a gestational surrogate for a single man in his 40s, the two strangers come to realize this unexpected relationship will quickly challenge their perceptions of connection, boundaries, and the particulars of love. Okay, interesting. Huh. Things sort of like two people unexpectedly getting together and learning to live together and eventually love one another, perhaps, somewhere like that. It's kind of interesting. Could be quirky romantic comedy, maybe. It's kind of interesting because I do really like Ed Helms at times. Like, I love him in The Hangover, and I loved him even doing serious stuff, like him doing like Chappaquiddick. But the funny stuff that he's done, like Tag, was really good, and I really liked him in Cedar Rapids. Thought it was really good in Cedar Rapids, man. I've always loved him in The Office too. At first, I'm not gonna lie, him in The Office, he was kind of annoying, and eventually I came to love him, but I was like, I don't know how much I can deal with this guy. But he eventually won me over. But then again, there's sometimes where like he's too goofy for his own good, like that National Lampoon's Vacation movie he did. I was never really a big fan of that, man. I like where he's sort of cute funny, right? He's not like crazy over the top. Like, well, I like him doing that in The Hangover. But then again, Hangover 2 and 3, I wasn't really a huge fan of. I like when his comedy is more sort of understated, because I think it comes off a little bit better for Ed Helms. A movie like this, I think, would really work great for him. Like, again, something like Cedar Rapids. That had some really funny moments, but some really heartwarming moments that wasn't, like, crazy wild over the top either. Ed Helms can definitely be that guy. There's not many comedians that can be like that. I see Steve Carell being an actor that could do that, but it's not as easy as you might think. Being over the top is so much more easier than being more of the understated funny man. Not doing wild over the top stuff like a Jim Carrey or an Adam Sandler. That's easy. Being more low key in your humor, that's not always the easiest thing to do, but I think Ed Helms achieves it at times. I think he really does, man. Looks like an interesting little baby mama drama, funny love story type of movie. There's been a few out there. I guess add this one to the list. They also end up having Young Sheldon, the complete fourth season, for $19.99. I have never watched a single episode of Young Sheldon. It's never really interested me. Not really, guys. I was never a fan of The Big Bang Theory. It's not that I hated it, essentially, but I just felt like sometimes, like, it did great things for geek culture, and other times it felt like it took geek culture, like, back a few steps. kind of. I mean, it was funny at moments, but other times it felt like kind of cringy and maybe went on for a little bit too long. But it was extremely popular. People loved it. I mean, it was on CBS. It was a huge ratings draw. I get it. I just was never a huge fan of the damn thing. But I knew it was so popular that eventually they were going to make a spin-off of it. And why not do it with one of the most popular characters on the show, Sheldon? Sure, why the hell not, man? I just don't really know if, like, people who love The Big Bang Theory really care about young Sheldon. I mean, yes, it deals in geek culture, but is it really, like, on the same level as Big Bang Theory? I'm not really sure. It's more of, like, for, like, the younger crowd more than anything else, unless I'm wrong. I've always kind of gotten that vibe by it. But we're in the fourth season. When is this kid gonna look remotely like Jim Parsons? Like, I'm serious. Like, he's in his preteen phase. I'm like, is like puberty gonna eventually turn his face into Jim Parsons? Like, I'm like, when is that shit gonna actually happen, man? God damn, dude. I mean, seriously, man. Jesus. Like, is there gonna be a moment where, like, he wakes up like when Tobey Maguire wakes up like as Spider-Man and he's got like muscles, like one day he's gonna wake up and like suddenly his face looks like Jim Parsons and he's gonna do like some sort of like Macaulay Culkin Home Alone, like, no. I just wonder what the fuck is when he actually gonna turn into the damn character, man. But I gotta admit, like, I just don't know if this satisfies people's urge who loved The Big Bang Theory, or is it more of just something where it's like, hey, to get sort of the younger crowd, or is it kind of like a cash grab type of thing where it has cool ideas to it, but it doesn't reach the levels of what fans really expected? I'm kind of curious about this. It's not something I'm ever really gonna watch, to be fair. I wasn't, as I said, the hugest fan of The Big Bang Theory, even though I appreciated it at moments. There were other moments when I was a little bit let down by it and felt like it kind of took us geeks back a time or two, back to the Revenge of the Nerds days. Don't get me wrong, I love the Revenge of the Nerds days, but, you know, we have grown as a culture, folks. Big Bang Theory, moments of brilliance and moments of, ooh, really? I kind of get the same vibe with young Sheldon, but kind of let me know what you guys think. Good, bad, cash grab? Does it get better or does it get worse? Where would you rank young Sheldon? Definitely let me know, guys. Curious on that one. And again, preteen, when are you going to turn into Jim Parsons? When is puberty going to hit your ass? I wonder, baby. I definitely wonder on that one. Huh. Very interesting stuff I'm seeing so far. Not bad. And then, through the windy, twisty turns of more physical media at Target, we get, some Hitchcock love, Rear Window, and Vertigo. Yes, actually, these are new 4K releases that came out this week, guys. And more Hitchcock love? Oh, always appreciated. Indeed it is. Rear Window, especially, man. James Stewart, man. Oh, I love Rear Window. Talk about a movie that everybody has aped off of for years, man. There was that Shia LaBeouf movie years ago where he saw this murder and he was in his home and it felt so much like Rear Window because it like was basically a copycat. I mean, even think about something like Fright Night. As much as I love Fright Night, and my God, do I love Fright Night, it is aping off of Hitchcock in a big bad way. It seems like a lot of people very much were always aping off of Hitchcock. He was the master of suspense, one of the masters of horror, still to this day, one of the reigning supremes of suspense style horror. And the movies are timeless. I mean, I am a huge fan of Hitchcock. My favorite Hitchcock movie of all time is Psycho. But if I had to say one that's slightly little lower down the list is Rear Window, but not that far down because it is so wonderful. I just love the idea of this guy in this wheelchair and the idea that he sees this murder happen and nobody believes him. They think he's going crazy, that he's lost his mind, and he's trying to prove that this is really happening, that this is real. And I love that. I just love the idea of people not believing you and crying wolf so many times until when people finally believe you, it's too late. And the horror of that, the horror of being helpless and not being able to do anything, that is extremely frightening when done right. And Rear Window is one of those great ones that does it perfectly. It really does, man. And the suspense is fully on display here. It is really awesome. And it's just great as a movie about being a voyeur and voyeuristic nature of how people are, and how your privacy really isn't privacy. I really appreciate that, man. I really do. Like old school movies like Peeping Tom did it really well, and Rear Window is one of those ones that does it just as well, man. So awesome, so amazing. Rear Window is fantastic, man. I love the shit out of that movie. I also really love Vertigo, man. Another amazing Hitchcock movie, man. And James Stewart, man, what a great leading man James Stewart was back in the day, man. He was amazing. I mean, not only a really great actor, but, man, talk about one hell of a leading man back in the day, man. He definitely deserved his leading man status. That is for damn sure, man. And what a really great movie, man. I mean, the idea of mistaken identity, murder, sex, lust, passion, all in this really interesting sort of detective whodunit story. Love it so much, man. And I love the idea of being afraid of heights and the suspense of that, and how Hitchcock uses the camera to his advantage to make you feel like you're right there, and how you're right there with the character and fearful of like the heights and falling. I am actually somebody, truth be told, guys, I am somebody who is afraid of heights in a big bad way. I really am, man. Like going high up in the air, I am afraid of that shit. And so it's movies like Vertigo that get me incredibly queasy, and you almost feel sick to your stomach at times seeing the imagery of like the heights and this, and just like, oh, with the camera and the wild like angles. It's really effective, man. There's some really wonderful chase scenes. I love the chemistry between Kim Novak and James Stewart. I think their chemistry is on fire. It's perfect here. This is a fantastic Hitchcock movie, man. I mean, Hitchcock was one of the best. There's a reason why he's as good as he is, man, because he kept making really effective movies, and he never really technically made the same movie twice. He always made something new and interesting, whatever he did, whether it was Vertigo or Rear Window, North by Northwest, Psycho, and you name it. Such an amazing director, man. And if you've never dived into Hitchcock, it's about damn time to, man, because that guy still deserves love to this day, guys. He really does. Well worth it indeed, man. And 4K love at that cannot be beat. That is for damn sure. Some pretty cool stuff, actually. It's nice to be reminded about old school movies, and sometimes doing 4K upgrades really gives people the opportunity to re-explore old films, or to finally find them when they didn't know them about those experiences and those great classic movies that influenced so many more after it. Sometimes it's nice to re-experience some old classic love, and these ones are just as good, man. Not bad indeed, guys. Some more Hitchcock love, I will definitely take it. Pretty damn good, man. And pretty damn good this week as well. Not bad, especially with a little Justice League love. I'm liking it. Alright, let's head out. Well, what do you know? Target delivered yet again. Indeed they did. And I'm kind of getting used to saying it, guys. I'm not gonna lie, man. Their track record has been pretty damn good as of late. And that is so weird to say. You cut back to like a year ago, And that shit would have been unthinkable. But here we are, man. And they did it yet again, guys. All that new release love, TV love, a little bit of indie romance love, and ah, ah, Hitchcock love. Yes, indeed. Not half bad this week. Not half bad at all. With all the new releases, 4K upgrade love. Pretty sweet this week, not gonna lie. Well, especially here at Target. They definitely delivered in a big bad way. Hell of a lot better than Walmart, but that's becoming more of a regular thing than I was ever thinking it was ever going to be, guys. Crazy to think that, but here we are. But I'm loving what I'm seeing. I hope you guys do too. Let's head out for more movie-loving adventure. All right, everybody, we are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie flicks worth showing off. If there is, I'll bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I want to talk about a trailer with you guys. A recent one that happens to be coming to Netflix in the winter. And that is none other than Red Notice. Yes, oh man. I was looking forward to eventually when the trailer was going to hit on this, and I was not disappointed, man. I mean, you got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Ryan "Deadpool" Reynolds, and Gal Wonder Woman Gadot. Yes, you do. All three of them in this action-packed adventure. Basically, what I'm getting from the trailer is that Rock plays this sort of CIA, FBI agent who is trying to find these people. Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot. They're basically on red notice, and they are the most wanted of wanted criminals of all time. And he has to go get them and bring them in. Meanwhile, there's this artifact that people are in search of, mainly Ryan Reynolds looking for this egg-shaped artifact, and the fact that Ryan Reynolds and The Rock have to team up in order to take down Gal Gadot and yet take the artifact at the same time. Two different objectives. Which one's going to win out? And are they really gonna beat an Amazon? Tune in to find out. I mean, seriously, man, the movie looks fun as hell. Seriously, it really does, man. It looks like they're having a ball here. Dwayne Johnson is doing what Dwayne Johnson does best, beating up people like no man's land and basically flexing his muscles and doing the action stuff. He's good at it. Give him credit, man. And Ryan Reynolds, well, he's no slouch either. He's doing the action stuff, but he's playing almost like a sort of smart-ass sidekick type of guy. And you know what it reminds me of a little bit? It actually reminds me just a little bit of The Rundown. If you remember, like, The Rock teaming up with Sean William Scott, and it was kind of like this weird combination of, like, action and comedy mixed together, and it kind of feels the same way here. Like, Ryan Reynolds is fast-talking, smart aleck that can keep up with The Rock, and The Rock is just this guy like, okay, I'm just with this guy, and he's a fucking annoyance, and I just have to deal with the dude. Like, it's sort of that really great back and forth, almost like buddy cop style that I really do appreciate, man. And I think it's gonna work here. I think the chemistry from the trailer looks like it's really vibing, and I could see them having really good chemistry together. I could really see that. And as far as Gal Gadot is concerned, man, she is looking sexy as hell, and she's also looking badass too with the action. And I like the fact that, you know, she is this really formidable foe against The Rock. You look at The Rock of, like, The Rock and, like, Ryan Reynolds, and, like, she is outsmarting them at every turn, and I really appreciate it, man. It looks high octane, fast action, great dialogue, and some cool character interactions, and I think this will be a really fun one. I really do, man. And I gotta give them a lot of credit for this movie. I really do. And the reason why I give them as much credit as I do is because I believe they they started filming this movie during the time when they were starting to come back into production. A lot of Hollywood films were starting to do that. And nobody really knew about how to deal with the protocols and how to keep everyone safe. And it was basically a learning curve. So the fact that they could pull a movie like this off, having to film during the height of the pandemic, man, give them a lot of credit, man, because I think it looks cool. And I think if the movie is as cool as the trailer is, I think they're going to pull off something special here. I really do, man. And man, I got to say, Netflix has really been killing it with some of these originals that they're putting out, man. They've been really good at them. And this one, yeah, I'd love to see it in the theater, but to enjoy it on Netflix and get like the Hollywood experience at home, man, I'll take it, man. And Netflix has been doing really well with that. So this movie's got my vote. It really does, man. Those three together, that's an interesting combo that I am definitely interested in checking out. I wonder if you guys are. Definitely let me know. In the meantime, well, could we see some interesting indie titles? It's always possible. But how about we go in, check it out. Oh yes, back in at the second Walmart, baby. And did you seriously think that we were gonna go 2 weeks in a row without seeing any indie goodies? Oh, you're wrong. Dead wrong, baby. There is so much indie love this week. It is pouring out of the masses, baby. It is really damn good. It's cheesy, ridiculous, but fun as hell, man. And some of the cheesiness I cannot wait to show off, man. It's gonna be some good shit. Indeed it is. Missing 1 week of indie love? Oh, they made a comeback in a big bad way. Indeed they did. So you know where we're going, baby. We are going back to Film Fan 108 Central, where you, Seth, yes you, get to show off all of the indie weirdness. You gotta be excited. Of course I'm excited. I mean, after all, I am the expert. Wait, did I hear that right? You say you're the expert for physical media? Hello. What about me? You're all right, but the apprentice will never overtake the master. Ha ha ha. The apprentice overtaking the master? Dude, I am the master. You are the apprentice. I'm like Obi-Wan Kenobi, man. I'm that damn good, bro. Seriously. More like Obi-Wan nobody. What'd you say? Nothing. Damn right you said nothing. Yeah, you know who's the man. Damn straight. So you better show off that physical media, boy, before the master come whooping your ass. Yes, sir. I'll do what you say, sir. Don't hurt me. I'll let you believe what you want to believe. I'm the real master. Come on, you guys know I'm the real master. He's just pretending. Me, I'm Qui-Gon Jinn, baby. Indeed I am. Obi-Wan bows down to Qui-Gon, his master, baby. The master of physical media. Damn straight. Oh, damn straight indeed, man. One day he'll learn. It might have to be little hard knocks, but he'll eventually learn the lesson. Indeed he will, guys. But you guys know I'm one of the masters. So while you're here, you like to experience physical media with the man, the myth, the legend himself. Sure. Why not, guys? Oh, man. And this week has been kind of interesting. Well, mostly at Target. First Walmart. Really? Oh, whatever. But there is some really interesting media that is out there in the market. I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League alone is pretty damn cool, but there is so much more to check out, man. And when it comes to indie love, oh, man, it seriously cannot be beat. The ridiculous, the bizarre, the what the Oh, yes. Who can really beat that second Walmart goal? Nobody can. And I'm damn glad to say that it is back. And back in a big, bad way. Oh, yeah. The Walmart goodness is back, baby. Yo, yes, indeed. In full force and in a big, bad way. Oh, indeed it is, man. And weirder than ever, dare I say. Indeed it is, man. Oh, I'm so glad to have it back on the roster. It's looking pretty good this time. So let's dive in, shall we? With the first title that I'm seeing, that's none other than Skinwalker. Ooh, oh, I'm liking that. A curse won't stay buried forever. Something tells me this town's gonna be all kinds of fucked. Just taking a wild guess, guys. It can't be killed. After looting a Native American burial site, a hunter unleashes the legendary Skinwalker, a shapeshifting demon onto an unsuspecting world. Once thought to be only a legend, this ancient evil returns from the grave to wreak a terrible vengeance to all who are unfortunate enough to cross its path. I told you the town was fucked. I'm serious. I told you. I was just taking a wild guess, but yeah, they're fucked. Oh, man. Native American burial grounds. You know, it's kind of interesting, right? Because there's actually a few movies out there that are very much about Native American burial ground in some way, shape, or form. Now, there's some that you may know, some that you might know. Like there's one from 1983 called Scalps, which is actually a pretty decent flick. It's not half bad. Poltergeist, I'm not sure whether that's a cemetery or whether it's on Indian burial ground. I know they had kind of hinted at it, but it may have just been a cemetery. But that one comes to mind. Another one that comes to mind is Amityville. The original Amityville, that is on a Native American burial ground. It actually is. It's the whole explanation of they're on this cursed grounds and these obviously ancient, old, and very dead Indians are pissed and basically are taking over them in the house. And yeah, it's a whole thing, man. That was actually the big explanation. I believe it was the Indian burial ground, man. I mean, there's been other ones, but there's another one out there that is on Indian burial ground that a lot of people may forget that it actually is a very famous horror movie indeed, and that is none other than Pet Cemetery. Yes. Did you forget that this was on Indian burial ground? It actually is, guys. Yeah, that was the big explanation that this cursed land was on Indian burial ground, and they're the ones that when you bring the dead pets and dead people there, the souls of these dead Indians or ancient cursed people are inhabiting them. Yeah, that was the whole thing, man. True story. A lot of people tend to forget that, man. I think certain details in certain movies over time tend to pass us by. And Pet Cemetery is one of those cases where I think we just tend to just think it's like a haunted cemetery area, and that's kind of what it is. But the explanation is actually Indian burial grounds. True story. Great fucking movie, by the way. Explanation or no, still fucking kicks ass, man. Sometimes dead is better. Damn straight. Indeed, it is, man. So there is some very interesting movies out there that tend to have Indian burial grounds to them. So it's just kind of a little fascinating that this one sort of takes from that little subgenre of horror and sort of mixes it in here. It has a little bit of a vibe even of like I would say Pumpkinhead as well. The idea of this ancient legend demonic entity that is basically out for revenge against people. It has sort of that vibe to it as well. So it's bringing in different vibes within the genre to create an interesting like horror western mashup. There is some really good horror westerns out there, man. I mean, Bone Tomahawk definitely comes to mind. Also, the Burrowers is one that definitely does, man. The Burrowers is a really fantastic horror western flick that came out like maybe 5-ish, 10 years ago, somewhere around there, and it's a really amazing, fantastic one, man. And not many people know about that one, but that one's definitely worth checking out and should be on people's radars, man. But I like a good, interesting genre mashup with some interesting genre tones that you don't always see. Skinwalker has the potential to be it, mind you, if they don't fuck up the whole Skinwalker thing, which, some movies tend to fuck it up. So I'll reserve judgment, but it does look pretty intriguing. And as far as the Indian burial ground shit is concerned, people, when are we ever gonna learn? Don't fuck with Native Americans. We've given them so many issues already. Man, they have every reason to curse our ass. Witches of Blackwood. Oh, interesting. She is the daughter of darkness. Okay. I told her to avoid trust falls. They never listen. Damn it. I'm liking the imagery, though. Very creepy. Huh, what is this about? Following her mother's death, a young woman returns home only to find the town overshadowed by a mysterious darkness and steeped in rumors of a soul-stealing entity. A confrontation with a coven of witches is the only way to survive. Interesting. So the witches are there to help, actually, not to be the ones actually causing the problem. It's kind of new. Okay. Usually it's the witches causing the goddamn problem, man. Oh, but it's witches versus this entity that's taking over the town. That's kind of fascinating. You want to know what that kind of reminds me of a little bit? Just a little bit. It actually reminds me of True Blood. Kind of a combination of 2 seasons of True Blood. The second season, where it was this sort of weird demonic entity that was taking over the town, this sort of goat-like creature or something, whatever it was, this sort of female temptress that basically put everyone under her spell, and like Sookie and all them had to try to stop her. I liked it. Wasn't exactly the greatest season of True Blood ever, but it was good for what it was. And then obviously combined with the Witch season, which obviously had all those like quirky moments and cool little battles between the vampires and the witches, and I kind of like that stuff. Yeah, they were starting to like get into that whole like Eric and Sookie starting to fall in love crap, which I was like, oh, I wasn't a fan of that, but there was some decent stuff in that season. I ain't gonna lie, man. It kind of has a combination of that. Like if they combined that season with the second season and sort of did a weird sort of like genre mashup, which pretty much that was True Blood, practically. So what the hell, man? Yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like that. I mean, truth be told, there are so many good witch movies, some really great ones out there. I mean, obviously, The Witch, Witches of Eastwick, Practical Magic, and of course, we cannot forget the one of the best ones of all time, guys. Seriously, one of the best, and that is none other than The Craft, baby. Yes, goddamn, do I love The Craft. Jeez. So imagine if the chicks from The Craft were actually the good guys. Man, that's kind of fucked up. It kind of is, man. Really? I'm gonna trust Fairuza Balk as being the good guy? Man, fuck that. Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of like the idea of this entity and the witches have to stop it. It's an interesting mashup. How well could it work? Actually, pretty well, man. I mean, if the imagery is any indication, it could be kind of cool, man. Then again, it could be one cheesy piece of shit. That too. These indie ones, especially when it comes to horror, you can never quite tell. Interesting ideas. The cover art can be cool, and then the movie could turn out to be complete shit. It's happened a time or two, hasn't it, folks? It really has. Where will the Witches of Blackwood turn out to be? Well, guess time will tell if you dare confront the witches. When the going gets tough, the tough get Unit 11. Indeed they do. Might not be what they want, but it's what they're gonna get. Oh, I'm liking that. Survival brought them together. Yes, and now they're gonna kick all kinds of motherfucking ass. All right, let's get it, man. Survival brought them together. One mission will tear them apart. The year is 2035. The island formerly known as the United Kingdom is now an evacuated wasteland used only for government weapon testing. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. All of you UK fans out there, I weep for you. You don't got much longer on this world, man. 2035? Well, it's 2021 now. Well, you better get your affairs in order. You ain't got that much longer to go, man. Yeah, you're fucked. Sorry, guys. It's ruled by the remaining gangs and crime syndicates that dare to inhabit its post-apocalyptic streets when a mysterious chemical known only as Unit 11 is stolen from a government laboratory. It's up to one gang to fight their way across a savage landscape of brutal headhunters and retrieve the top secret asset before it's too late. 10 years in the making, that was the most ambitious independent British movie ever made. Okay. Interesting. You want to know what this movie reminds me of, man? I'm getting like major vibes from it, man. Major indeed, dude. Oh, yeah. Snake Plissken is back, baby. And cheesier than ever in Escape from LA. Yes. God damn, do I love this fucking movie, man. Jesus Christ. I think Escape from LA is fucking awesome, man. Highly underrated, man. I think it's gotten more love as the years have went on, to be honest. And yes, it's not as good as Escape from New York. I get it, but I still think it's a hell of a fun movie, man. And it's got the idea of this wasteland, and people have to go in and try to retrieve this package back to the government. I like that idea behind it. I just think this movie is really great, and Kurt Russell comes off as a total badass, man. I love certain scenes in this movie, like the plastic surgeon of LA, which is so fucking cool, man. Or like the whole like surfing sequence, or damn, like the whole like basketball stuff with like Snake trying to survive, man. It's got some really great vibes. Like you just wonder, like, what if LA turned into an island and like all the scum and villainy went there, and you're like, damn. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but I wouldn't mind visiting. Maybe if I had like a shitload of like, guns and ammo and, a lot of Kevlar. Maybe. It's such a great fucking movie, man. It is really awesome. And so it kind of reminds me of that in a lot of ways. Slightly different with this sort of chemical agent that they have to retrieve and everything, but still the same idea, sort of, man. But I got to admit, if Snake Plissken was in this movie, man, that should be done in no time, man. Snake Plissken, man, when he gets a job done, he motherfucking gets a job done, bitch. And he don't need no fucking team to accomplish it, neither, man. Yes, absolutely, man. This could be a cool little, action, suspense, thriller type of movie. The idea that they have to go in and fight all these savages and these crime syndicates in order to get what they want. It could be cheesy, it could be ridiculous, but it could be a hell of a lot of fun, man. Interesting that it's a very ambitious independent British movie ever made. I'm very curious about this one. It has some really escape from vibes. It definitely does. but it could carve out its own cool little niche too. I am curious about Unit 11, but honestly, with Snake Plissken, just give them one fucking gun and the eye patch. You'll get your goddamn package back. Man, didn't we send these motherfuckers back to Jurassic Park? Seriously, man. God damn it. With the hatched. The discovery of a lifetime could destroy mankind. Man, been there, done that. Next. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something we haven't seen, please? Yeah, I know. Killer dinosaurs. Not like that's a new concept or anything. All right. They're back. They're hungry. Yeah, no shit. An obsessive scientist discovers a way to bring dinosaurs back to life. No shit. Really? Damn. I wonder if anyone else has tried that too. I wonder. And when his family comes to visit, they find him dead. Oh, eaten by his own creations. Ah, the mad scientist eaten by the creations that he ended up spawning. I wonder where that's been from. If they escape, these monsters could threaten the city, so they must be contained and destroyed. Oh, yeah, I'm getting Jurassic Park vibes. I'm getting Jurassic 2 Lost World vibes, aren't we? Yes, when the dinosaurs are unleashed onto the world. Jeez, hell, could this be a goddamn precursor to Jurassic World Part 3? Ah, jeez, of course it is. Where the fuck is Chris Pratt in this motherfucker? Seriously, man. I don't know. I mean, we've seen these type of movies a time or two, especially when it comes to dinosaurs. It's kind of interesting because, to me, the killer dinosaur genre, it peaked at Jurassic Park. That's not to say that there isn't other good killer dinosaur movies out there like Carnosaur. Come on, Carnosaur is really fucking cool, man. It really is. I mean, they don't always have to be evil and kill. They could be cute, like in Prehysteria. Yeah, because they're not gonna grow up to eat people, right? Sure, they're always gonna be vegetarians. Yeah, we'll just keep on pretending that one, guys. But seriously, man, I mean, they're all aping off in one way or another. All of these ones that are coming out now, they're all aping off of Jurassic Park, man. And Jurassic Park is the gold standard. And everything after that kind of just pales in comparison. And Hatched is yet another one of them. Oh, the evil scientist getting eaten by its creations. We've seen that before in the Jurassic Park franchise. Oh, it discovers a way to bring dinosaurs back to life. Yes, just like in fucking Jurassic Park franchise. Oh, and they need to stop them before they destroy everything and they could threaten the city. Oh, yes, the Jurassic Park fucking franchise, of course. I wonder what else they're literally stealing from the goddamn franchise. Or, as other people would say, it's homaging. Yes, it's an homage. Right, my bad. Yeah, I don't know about this one, guys. It's got probably some cool imagery, some cool little dinosaur kills, and maybe some cool gore, but something tells me I'd just take another trip to Jurassic Park. Probably for the best. And look what we have down here. The Fun House. Ah, oh, look at that. All kinds of fun. You know, you get to hang out with your friends and watch people get tortured. Yeah. Man. When was the last time I had fun at a carnival like this? It's been a long ass time, man. I'm thinking I need to go back. Okay, maybe not, man. God damn. Break the internet or it will break you. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of liking where this is heading. From Magnet, huh? I wonder what this is about. How many likes for a life? Ooh, I'm liking that. Down and out backup singer and celebrity ex-husband Casper. boy, what a winner this guy is invited to compete in the Funhouse, an online Big Brother style reality show. Okay. To rebrand his image, Casper reluctantly accepts the offer together with seven other C-list celebrities. Yeah, because, ain't nobody gonna miss those motherfuckers. Oh man, it reminds me of all those terrible reality shows on fucking VH1 or some shit, man. Oh God. Oh damn, man. Why weren't they in this torture factory? Oh man. And the Globe will compete for the prize of $5 million. At first, the Funhouse is just as the name suggests, but after a few days, the fun quickly turns when the first challenge leaves one of the contestants brutally murdered. The Firk is a house of fun. Oh my God, look at that. That's probably pretty cool, man. Not gonna lie, I like that idea. It totally reminds me of Saw in one way or another. I mean, come on, obviously, like the torture and people getting killed and everything. Come on, it definitely is aping just a little bit off of Saw, man. But I really like the fact that we're doing some interesting things with social media in horror. I really do appreciate that because my problem with social media in horror has always been how sometimes it's handled because it isn't handled the most best way it could possibly be. Because with that, you're always like, okay, there's a killer going around, and if you have a cell phone or social media, why aren't you quickly hiding in a closet and fucking posting something or trying to run away and post? I mean, I don't really understand that in certain aspects, and sometimes it's a detriment to the story and it makes the characters out to be really stupid. Sometimes, however, social media tends to work in the movie's favor. Sometimes it actually does, guys, like Spree. Ah, yeah. What a great goddamn movie this is, man. And I love how it uses social media. This guy who's very awkward and somebody who is trying to become social media famous will do anything to do it. Like, for instance, kill in order to get that fame, man. And I really love how social media is used here. I think it's a really pretty clever and creative movie that takes social media and really uses it in a unique way that is both genius and yet terrifying at the same time. The fact that somebody could actually fucking do this, man. Ah, that's why I try not to dive too much into social media, man. It is definitely a killing field. You get what I'm saying, man? It definitely is. Now, there is another movie that I really enjoy as well, man. Not exactly horror, but it does take social media in a very unique way. And that is none other than Guns Akimbo. Man, do I love this movie, man. I love this movie. It's so crazy and ridiculous, but I love the idea of this sort of game and being caught in this sort of survivor be killed scenario, and you're just used as a pawn for other people's pleasure. I just really love that, and I think it's genius. And yes, again, not horror and goes to ridiculous action levels, but again, I truly appreciate that. And even a movie like Nerve, where Nerve is a little bit more in the horror realm, not entirely, but still uses social media in a clever way, similar to what Guns Akimbo does, man. Very interesting indeed. And again, social media can be used if done right and in a clever and interesting and unique way. That is for sure, man. And this definitely, to me, has vibes of that, man. It really does, dude. And I just like the hilarious nature of all these C-list celebrities coming together to try to revive their career and just, oh man, how far these twisted motherfuckers will do to torture C-list celebrities. I mean, you certainly wasn't getting George Clooney for this shit. That's for damn sure, man. Oh Lord, man, and there's so many C-list celebrities out there. God damn it, you could do a shitload of sequels, man. Oh, dude, and I'd probably watch the hell out of it, man. God, if this was an actual reality show, I'm not into reality, okay? Fuck Survivor, Big Brother. I'm sorry if you guys like it, you like it, but I've never really been into reality. I mean, I used to like the real world way back in the day when, I was more naive and stupid. But to see the celebrities getting tortured for people's entertainment, I mean, I am kind of a sick fuck, guys. So I would probably watch it, man. I probably would. Yeah, I'd be one of those assholes. But come on, you'd kind of enjoy it, man. Trust me, you've seen some of those really terrible VH1 style ones or other terrible reality shows where they take C-list celebrities and try to revive their careers. Oh, wouldn't you just like to see them die in wicked ways? Oh, yes, you would. Don't deny it. You definitely would. In the fun house, it's supplying it. You know what, guys? There is certain places that you just, I don't know, want to avoid altogether. And if Google Maps says that you have to drive through this village, I'd tell Google to go fuck itself. Seriously. I like my blood on the inside, not on the outside. But something tells me that these residents, well, will mistake me for a ketchup bottle. That is for damn sure. And something tells me that this guy is not a fan of Heinz ketchup. Indeed, not in Village of the Vampire. He's painting the town red in more ways than one, I bet, huh? Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Whoa. I love that imagery, man, of this, like, chick and these vampires just chowing down on her fucking arms and neck and just literally sucking the life out of her. God damn. Jeez. Interview with the Vampire, eat your heart out, baby. God. What the hell is this? Rebecca is searching for her sister, a young journalist who went missing while investigating a series of unfortunate events. Let me guess. Nosferatu? If you were looking for Nosferatu, man, you better look somewhere else, because there is definitely no bald motherfuckers here, man. Jeez. The trail leads her to Timir, a remote place far from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, where amidst the tight-lipped silence of the town's inhabitants, there's an ever-growing fear of dark forces at work, and no one dares to leave their home at night. Who can really fucking blame them? I mean, seriously, man. Look, I mean, I'm an adventurous guy as much as the next person, but I mean, I can stay home. I got no problem with that. I got a bunch of movies. I don't need to go outside. I got all I need right here. God damn it. It's for damn sure. Here, Rebecca meets an extravagant writer, the church warden of the town, and above all, Caleb, a charming, rich, and elegant man whose dark gaze hides a chilling secret. Oh, I can only guess that one. It's in this town where time appears to move between the shadows and danger lurks around every corner that Rebecca learns of the terrible truth, and the battle between good and evil begins. Oh, man, vampires. And these look like a vicious bunch of motherfuckers, man. It definitely does, dude. God damn, man. Has been some really great, vicious, evil vampires before. There really has been. There's been a ton of them, man. And ones that I have definitely loved, man. Like, for instance, oh, you gotta say it, man. And that is none other than Vamp, baby. Come on, you have got to love the shit out of Vamp. It is amazing. It is absolutely awesome. And Grace Jones is fucking amazing as the lead vampire badass chick, man. She is fucking awesome. Man, when she's like going after that guy's neck, it's almost like she's like eating like a steak. My God. Grace Jones, she can be sexy, but man, I would not want to lay in bed late night with that chick. Put it that way, man. And there was some really great vampire effects and some evil vampire stuff in there. Really, really great, man. Love the shit out of that movie. That one is really awesome. Of course, I also have to say, you guys know this, no-brainer, Near Dark, man. God damn, another really amazing vampire flick. I love the shit out of Near Dark, man. I mean, I love the idea of these nomad travelers that have been around for decades and centuries, and they just feed off of the living and the downtrodden and people that aren't going to be missed, and they've been living in the shadows among the world. And I just love the effects here. I love the badass vampire action. Like the whole scene in the bar is so brutal. I just love how they're they're living their lives and going from one place to another, and sort of being these sort of bottom feeders of the world, man. Such a really fantastic fucking movie, man. Near Dark is amazing. Of course, you also have to talk about John Carpenter's Vampires. Yes, prepare for the dawn, baby. This has a really great badass vampire in Valak, man. I love how Thomas Ian Griffith plays this character, man, of just this guy that is so powerful and is so sure of himself that he just walks into some place and everybody tries to fucking attack him, and he's just like ripping heads off and splitting bodies in half. And man, I just love the battle that him and James Woods have together, man. I just love this guy, man. I love the shit out of that vampire, man. I love it, dude. Great fucking killer vampires in that flick, man. Really brutal vampires in that. Really love that. I also really love the vampires in, of course, Blade, which is awesome. Some really great vampires in that, but the more vicious vampires are in Blade 2. Oh man, like those weird vampire like Nosferatu motherfuckers. Seriously, man. Those dudes, man, they're like a weird hybrid of a vampire, but they're so brutal and they're so unrelenting to get to your blood. Man, that shit was downright terrifying, man. I loved the hell out of those vampires. Those vampires are awesome. And of course, when you think of vampires and terrifying and downright brutal, you also have to talk about 30 Days of Night. Yes, 30 Days of Night. Talk about really brutal fucking vampires, man. These vampires, man, they will rip your goddamn head off and not only drink the blood from your torso, but also drink the blood from your goddamn face. Jesus, man. And they might just eat you afterward for good measure, man. These are so brutal. Man, I love the vampires here, man. I mean, if nothing else from this movie, the vampires themselves are just so crazy and so just terrifying, and just literally is almost like a train just coming at you at full force that just can't stop, man. And you're just trying to get away from it as fast as you can, and there's just no way you can do it. It's amazing, man. And man, I would not want to be in this situation, because I'd probably piss my pants, and they'd probably be pissing my blood out of their fucking eyeballs. God damn, man, Jesus Christ. Fucking ridiculous, man. I mean, there is some really great vampire flicks out there, and there is a lot more to talk about. That is for damn sure. But this one kind of looks interesting to me. It's trying to be like almost like eroticism, mysterious horror experience, and I kind of appreciate that. It's trying to be a mixture of this horror element of being terrifying with vampires, but yet also like an erotic love story, like something you'd see on Interview with the Vampire or Queen of the Damned or some shit. Like, it's trying to sort of have both elements together. And I gotta say, the imagery looks cool. I mean, that imagery alone, man, is fantastic, and I love that shit, man. And I've always been a fan of the eroticism of vampires. There's something about it that is alluring to you, man. The idea that these women or men who are so charming and so sexy that you're just amazed by them. You can't take your eyes off them, and once they have you, you're done. And I just love the idea of getting bit on the neck and feeling this sort of strange connection that you have with somebody through the idea of sucking your blood. It turns into this really weird, like, sexual experience, I'd almost say, man. And it really is true, man. I mean, vampires can be both terrifying and yet incredibly sexy at the same time. And I've always found that so weird to combine the two, but it works. It really does, man. And when done right, you're kind of at times getting a boner and then and then being scared out of your fucking mind, and you're like your dick doesn't know what to do. Oh man, it's so fucking confusing, dude. It seriously is, man. But when done right, it can be one hell of an experience, man. It really can, dude. Oh man, it kind of looks cool. I'm not gonna lie, it really does, man. I don't know how good the movie is, but from the imagery and the synopsis, I'm gonna go with it. I mean, look, vampires nowadays are not as good as old school vampires, like Lost Boys, man. Lost Boys is a shit. Now you get like, fucking sparkly Edward Twilight bullshit. And I have a feeling that the Twilight ones in this movie would probably get their head chopped off, and literally the sparkling would just be drained from their lives. Oh man, now that I'm saying it, I kind of wish that were to happen. It's not too late to make that movie. You hear, in Hollywood? If you make the Twilight crew go into the 30 Days of Night realm and have to survive against crazy wild vampires and get killed, dude, man, I'd watch the shit out of that. So how much do you really value a pair of jeans? Perhaps with your life? Let's hope not, because you may just get your wish. Oh, indeed you will, with slacks. Yes. Oh, a Shudder original, baby. Oh my god. I love that quote. Shopping mall meets the sisterhood of the traveling pants. And that's how fucked up this movie is. It really is, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, okay? And look, I've talked to you guys many times about Shudder and how I don't really love Shudder, to be fair. I really don't. They're not terrible, okay? They're not like the worst thing in the entire world. They're not like The Asylum or something where their movies are really complete trash. They have some good stuff that they've done, like the Mortuary Collection, which is pretty damn good. And then you have a lot of other stuff as well, which turns into complete, not garbage exactly, but it's aping off of better material that really you can just watch the original stuff. The newer stuff doesn't do anything better or interesting with it. And they're just recycling the same old stuff over and over and over again. And so, hearing about slacks, I was like, okay, this is a little out of the ordinary, and I was willing to go down this rabbit hole. Let's put it that way, man. I very much was. Now, basically, the movie is about this store, this company that is putting out these new pair of jeans that basically, it doesn't matter how you eat or what size you are, the fact that it will fit to who you are and to the size that you are. And it's this new sort of technology, and it's innovative, and it's going to revolutionize jeans all across the world. And they are going to premiere it during their Monday Night Madness sale. Yes. Oh boy. Talk about Black Friday gone horribly wrong, man. Oh shit. So what they didn't expect is that the jeans are somehow alive and thirsty for blood. Oh man, yes. Killer fucking Jeans. Oh, Killer Jeans, man, my God. And it is as ridiculous, over the top, crazy, and sinister as you might expect. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by this movie. I'm not gonna lie, I really was, man. Now, when you think of Killer Jeans, come on, let's be real. You know, you're not thinking this is like The Exorcist or something. This is not like high class horror, okay? You know what you're walking yourself into, man. And there is certain expectations when it comes to movies like this. They've done a lot of different type of killer items for movies. They've had so many different ones. They've had killer beds. They've had blood beach. They've had killer condom. Do you remember the movie Killer Condom? If you don't, please, I'm begging you, go and check out Killer Condom, because that is one weird ass fucking movie, man. It's a trauma film, and it definitely deserves to be in the trauma canon, man. My God, how ludicrous that fucking movie is, man. That is wild. I remember seeing that when I was younger and thinking to myself, damn, man, uh, I love chicks. I like being with chicks. But if it means, you know, either having sex or keeping my dick, well, about time to go bare. I'm sorry, but I'm not risking my dick for a fucking condom. Especially when it's going to bite my dick off. Like, no, fuck that, man. Yeah, no fucking way, dude. So, oh man, it's wild, dude. But there was actually another movie that came out not too long ago from overseas that had a similar idea to it, and a pretty damn good one at that. And that is none other than In Fabric. Oh yeah, look at that, baby. I love this movie. Basically, it's about this killer dress that once you put it on, basically it starts to consume you and basically take over your life and will eventually eat you. And it sounds ridiculous. It sounds a little over the top. And yeah, it is. But it's really dark and twisted and really well done. Like it's almost like a character piece drama wrapped around a ridiculous concept, but it works really well, man. And I love the idea of the killer dress and what they do with the kills and the gore and how they sort of get around, you know, how do you depict a dress killing people? But they do it so well, man, and it's such a wonderful fucking movie, man. I love In Fabric so much. That's a pretty goddamn good movie, man. And I knew that Slacks was not going to be completely like In Fabric. I mean, it wasn't going to be as art house in some ways as what In Fabric is, but I was hoping for fun. And goddamn, did I get fun, man. Jesus Christ, did I get fun. I got a lot of it. It was great. I love the kills here. I love how the jeans kill people, whether it's snapping necks, whether it's literally biting them, ripping off their flesh, uh, tearing them in half, you name it, man. It's really clever how they go about it, and I give them a lot of credit, man. And I thought the effects were really well done, the green screen stuff and how the jeans come to life. I thought they did a really good job with that. I was really pleasantly surprised, man. I think the movie is quirky, it's funny, it's got some really great gore and blood effects to it. It was a genuine surprise to me, man. It really was. And there was moments that I absolutely loved in it, man. Like one of the victims is like stuffed inside like a closet or some shit. I'm like, wait a minute, how the fuck did the jeans put them in the closet. Like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus. Like, my God, man. Like, like they neatly folded up the chick in the goddamn drawer. Oh man, I love that shit. I was so much a fan of this movie, but here's the thing about it is that it's not so crazy, wild, over the top that you sort of goes down like trauma roots. It's not that, but it's not like ultra serious art house either. And so it tries to be a balance of the two, being a very dark, twisted tale that has some messaging about consumerism and slave labor and stuff like that, but yet goes kind of ridiculous with killer genes attacking people. It tries to have it both ways, and I don't think it 100% works. But that being said, I think it does a pretty good job regardless, because a movie like this, you don't want to go so wild and crazy over the top. I mean, I don't mind that. I love Killer Condom, okay? So for me, that's something that I kind of dig and enjoy. So all things considered, I don't really mind that shit. But at the end of the day, you still want to feel like you can connect with the story and don't feel like it's so ridiculous and crazy that it goes too overboard. It does a pretty interesting balancing act. Can't say it fully works 100%, but I liked where it was going. And also, the movie is very lean. It's less than 90 minutes. I think it's like maybe like 80 minutes total, give or take. I mean, it is a quick movie, man. So it's not like they waste time with like fucking, like character drama bullshit. I mean, they do a little bit of it, I suppose, but I mean, they're quick with this. They know what this movie is. They know what you want to see, and they go for it in a big bad way, man. They really do. So, you want to know what, man? I can't say that I love everything Shutter. I can't, because that's just not the truth. But this movie happens to be one I really dig, and I think that Slacks deserves a lot of love. It really does, man. Put it in sort of the weird genre of like killer items. It's so weird to say, but it really is the truth, man. I've seen killer beds. I've seen killer condoms. I've seen killer sofas. Yes, there is literally a movie called Killer Sofa out there, folks. It's real. I've seen it. And it's fucking awesome. So, look, man, I've experienced some weird shit. Why not see a killer pair of jeans, man? Just literally licking up people's blood. I'll never see a pair of jeans the same way again. God damn it. Look, let's put it this way. That's the reason why I buy my jeans cheap. I will never go to Gap or any other place like that. No, Old Navy, fuck you, man. Because I can see somebody going to Old Navy and getting a killer pair of jeans, and the world is so fucked. No, I'll just stick to Walmart. Thank you very, very much. You know, I'm I'm okay with bargain basement. Sometimes high class could get you into all kinds of trouble. And, well, if you consider Gap and Old Navy high class, spoiler alert, they're not. But go ahead, see if you want to risk your life by buying a pair of jeans. Next time you look at a pair of jeans, remember, it could be the last thing you ever wear. And that is a pretty goddamn scary thought. That is for damn sure, man. But a fucking awesome and really fun and entertaining as hell film, man. And one hell of a surprise. I gotta admit, really awesome of a surprise indeed. It was, as was a lot of these very interesting and unique titles. Talk about Walmart weirdness, crazy, ridiculous, bizarreness. This stack, it took the cake. And never fuck with Native Americans. Haven't we learned from history, man? We're still cleaning up Chris Columbus's shit. Seriously. Oh, never go against a coven of witches. I don't care how disgustingly hot they are. They'll put a spell that you can't get away from. And you thought crabs were bad. Ah, you know what Snake Plissken says? Fuck that shit. Ah, Jurassic Park ripoffs that needed to stay in the Barbasol can. This is why I don't watch reality shows. They could be a real killer. A village full of vampires. You want to know what? The sparkly ones don't seem so bad. Who'd have thought? And this is why I get my jeans at Walmart. They tend not to attack my ass. Oh man, good lord, what did the cat drag in this time? Good god, man, seriously. This is weird, this is bizarre, this definitely fits the bill of what the. It definitely does, man. Boy, all kinds of shit here. Witches, weird reality shows gone bad, killer genes, and so much more crazy, wacky crap. Oh, the second Walmart. Boy, you can't quite beat it, can you? You really, honestly can't. It's hard to defy it. Oh, man. It really is. Good lord, man. That is quite the stack. Some very interesting media indeed, man. Some movies are just crazy, wacky out there, but every movie out there, big, small, crazy, weird ass concoctions. They all deserve a little bit of love out there from one person or another. That's what's great about physical media. That's what's great about going to these stores, guys. The big ones, the small ones, the boutique ones that are in your area, it doesn't matter because you'll always find some unique media out there. And that's what's worth going out there and hunting for these titles. Because I've always said that you can always find some interesting stuff out there. You just have to take the time to look. And I think that's some of the great things about doing these is that finding those unique and odd gems that you just sit there and sort of like, huh? And then you sort of look at the artwork and the synopsis, and you start to really just dive into why media is so freaking awesome. Because it's the fact of holding it in your hand. It's the fact of actually seeing it in person and experiencing the cover and the artwork and just taking it all in. And that's what physical media is about, man. And I've always said that every physical media out there, every movie is unique. To each their own. They're all something that is either worth picking up or worth ignoring, but at least they're actually worth exploring and looking at and actually seeing what it's all about. As much as I appreciate digital platforms, and I do, physical media, there's something about it that is tangible. There's something about it that really connects you to the movie itself. And it's the fact of actually having a physical copy that you can hold and that you can connect with, and it's something that you can cherish. It makes it more real, it makes it more significant. And whether it's a small indie title or a big name release, the fact that you can physically have it makes it just a little bit more special. To the collectors out there, you guys know what I'm talking about. We're very few and far between. But when we appreciate something, we truly appreciate it. And seeing all these titles out in the marketplace really makes you appreciate the fact that physical media is still alive and it's still around and it's still a thing. And you can still grasp and hold on to these titles and really appreciate them. It's just something that I cherish and I love. And it's experiences like this that really make you appreciate the fact that there is still there's still a marketplace for this. And the fact that you can still find titles like these ones here at stores. I can't say it'll last forever, but while we have it, it's definitely worth cherishing. Can't say these are all worth cherishing, but there's a certain amount of love that every title deserves. Don't you agree? Yeah, we'll go with that, guys. Hey, everything deserves just a little bit of love. Good, bad, warm or ugly. Hey, yeah, there's a place for everybody in this world. You know that as well as I do, guys. And maybe for you, some of those Walmart titles are worth it. Perhaps indeed. Interesting media so far, man. Very interesting. But there is another place to go to. So let's head on to the train and more physical media ahead. All right, everybody. We're at our fourth and final location. And when it comes to physical media, we can't forget a little beast action. It is required. Indeed it is, baby. And we are none other than Best Buy, the Beast. Best Buy, baby. And oh, what does the Beast have in store for us this week? There's been moments where we've seen not a lot, moments where we've seen quite a bit. Best Buy hasn't always stepped up to the plate, but when they do, oh, is it very sweet indeed. What will the Beast have in store for this week? Hopefully exclusive love, hopefully new release love, and maybe a surprise or two worth talking about. You never quite know what the Beast has in store, but let's go in and find out. All right, we are in under the new releases at Best Buy, baby, and I am seeing they do have a little DC love, but man, they must have really ran out fast because there is none of the 4K and the Steelbook. Yeah, that is all gone, man, and I'm here early too. Holy shit, this thing must have flew. Damn. It looked pretty nice too online. Maybe we will see it in the future, but I have a feeling that this Steelbook is going to sell like hotcakes, man. And if you want to buy it, either you pre-order that motherfucker or you go on eBay and pay crazy scalper prices. Yeah, probably not many options unless you're having a lot of luck finding it in the stores. Me, well, my one Best Buy in the area, well, they sure as shit don't have it, but hey, maybe they'll get more in. Let's hope, guys. In the meantime, we still get a little bit of Justice League love, and I'll definitely take it, guys. That is for damn sure. Now, when I watch this movie, I end up asking myself, what's the plan exactly when it comes to the DCEU? I keep on asking myself that because is there really a plan? I mean, I'm serious, man, because I don't see a plan. I mean, like it or hate it, Zack Snyder had an idea, right? I mean, I didn't love Man of Steel, and I rewatched it recently, and I liked it a little bit more than when I originally watched it, but I'm not in love with that motherfucker. I mean, I'm really not, man. It's not a really great Superman tale as far as I'm concerned, being an old school Superman fan. I'm not even going there with BVS, man. I'm not doing it, dude. I am really not. I know some people are willing to do it, man. I watched that once, man. That's all I ever need. Okay? But whatever you think of it, there was a plan that Zack Snyder had, and it felt like the DCEU was rallying around the plan, right? It felt that way. And now it's kind of rudderless, if you really think about it. I mean, they're still doing stuff, obviously, with the Suicide Squad, and Flashpoint is coming up. We're getting, Robert Pattinson's Batman. We're going to get Aquaman 2. We're obviously going to get another Wonder Woman. God knows why, but sure. I mean, look, they're still making movies within the DCEU universe. The problem is that there's no cohesive gel for it to all come together. There really isn't, man. And the one gel you had was Justice League. And now DC has come out, like the executives at DC and everything else like that, they've come out and they've said, no, Zack Snyder's Justice League is not part of the overall canon of our comic book superhero universe. And I'm kind of confused by that. I'm confused by that in a big bad way, because I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, this movie is extremely popular. The fanboys and fangirls, they petitioned for this movie to get out there to the public. There is an appetite for this movie. It garnered a lot of eyeballs on HBO Max, a lot of love through Rotten Tomatoes and critic scores and fan scores, and a lot of people really embraced this movie and said it was a major improvement over the Joss Whedon version, and it is. Why wouldn't you take advantage of this? Why wouldn't you try your hardest to fit this into the overall universe? Why wouldn't you do it? And that's the overall confusion that I have here. I mean, nobody wants that Joss Whedon version to be canon. I don't think many people do. If there is, I certainly haven't met him. I haven't met him at all, man. I mean, that Joss Whedon version had so many problems attached to it. It really did. I mean, think about it like this. I mean, the whole Ray Fisher stuff, the whole controversy that has come out of that, that's been crazy. Gal Gadot has come out and said really nasty things about Joss, what Joss did to her on the set of Justice League. I mean, there's been so much controversy. Why would you want that as part of your canon? Wouldn't you want Zack Snyder's vision here? Especially when you have Darkseid here, when it expands the universe in a really brilliant way. You end up carrying over some really great elements for the character of Flash and introducing characters that can really make a big impact in future films. Why wouldn't you do that? And I just kind of feel like DC never wanted this movie out there in the public. They never wanted it out there. To be fair, man, I mean, I feel bad for Zack Snyder, because Zack was making this movie, he had a family tragedy, and DC saw that as an opportunity. Warner Brothers saw that as an opportunity to get him out and bring in Joss Whedon, and he was never able to finish the vision he wanted. He was never able to come back, and so he was just left with a really bad taste in his mouth, a really bad experience, and he was able to finally bring this vision out there, and I appreciate that. But where is the gel holding all of this together, man? I mean, Ben Affleck is no longer around. He's gone. They're not bringing back Cyborg because, wait, Ray Fisher and Warner Brothers don't have exactly the greatest working relationship of all time. I don't think they're making a Man of Steel 2. I don't think Henry Cavill's coming back. I mean, there's been no indication he's making a second one. I mean, that's been in development hell for years now. Yeah, they're making a Wonder Woman 3, but let's be real, Wonder Woman 84 didn't light the world on fire, so okay. I mean, Flashpoint, sure, but again, how many people are really hugely looking forward to that outside of seeing Michael Keaton as Batman? Aquaman 2, okay, that could be a cool thing, but where's the connectivity here? There's nothing holding all of this together, at least with Marvel. You know, say what you will about Marvel, man. I mean, say what you will, because they've had their faults, okay? There's no denying that. But here's the deal, guys. There is an overall arc. Those movies are planned way in advance. Kevin Feige is holding that whole thing together. And eventually the arcs come to a satisfying conclusion. I can't say the same for the DCEU. I think Justice League was a great conclusion to those first three Zack Snyder movies, and I think that it ended it in a satisfying way, but since there's no continuation here, it's a real bummer to see that this vision is just all in vain. And that sucks, man. I mean, the movie is fantastic, and if there's anything that you can say about the DCEU, and trust me, there's a lot of things that I don't like about the DCEU, man. I mean, Suicide Squad is shit. Wonder Woman's great. Wonder Woman 84 blows huge chunks up the ass, man. I mean, that movie's fucking terrible. I mean, Aquaman is just okay. I mean, but there's promise. And this movie shows the idea that there's a promise out there for something really mega amazing and fantastic in future follow-ups. But that's it. You're never going to get it. And so that window has just been completely shut. And that fucking sucks, man. I mean, I don't blame Zack Snyder for that. Zack Snyder got to make his vision. He got to make this movie the way he wanted to make it. And this movie has so many rich elements. As somebody who's an old school Superman fan, to see the black suit, to see Darkseid, to see the mother boxes and the potential of them and how cool they are, and seeing these heroes fighting together in this really great way. I mean, the whole end sequence of the film is completely different than what you got in the Joss Whedon version. It's so much better. There's so much great elements here that make this such a wonderful, not only just DC experience, but a great comic book movie in general. And to see that potential wasted here really sucks, man. There's so many wonderful things here. The redesigns of Steppenwolf, the different action sequences, the great character dynamics. There's so much to dive in here, and the 4 hours is incredibly worth it. As a fan of comic book movies, I don't love the DCEU, and I have a lot of problems with it. But the one bright spot has been Justice League. And it's a shame to see where it's heading. It really, honestly is, man. It's a goddamn shame. Truly, truly is a shame indeed, man. I mean, I can't say that I'll be a huge fan of the DC stuff going forward, or even previous, but I can say the one bright spot that I experienced is Zack Snyder's Justice League. And this movie makes the whole journey, at least so far, incredibly worth it, guys. I don't know what you guys think, but it's not Avengers level, I will say, but as far as like a comic book experience that you were anticipating, a Justice League movie, this delivers mega spades, man. Mega indeed, man. I mean, you get a couple of special features here, nothing major or crazy. Again, it's a really amazing, solid movie. As a comic book adventure, as a comic book lover, this is a must-see. Yes, 4 hours, and 4 hours is crazy and ridiculous, and at times you say to yourself, okay, at least a half hour, if not a little bit more, could have been trimmed. Just the slow motion alone of like these slow scenes of characters moving, you're like, oh, great. Okay, we get it, Zack Snyder. You love slow-mo. I understand it. Just like J.J. Abrams loves lens flares, you love slow motion shit. I get it. But, god damn, man. It could have been a little lesser of an experience, but for the 4 hours, man, that shit was truly worth it. I mean, Bob, John, and I did a spoiler review. It's on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you guys want to hear our thoughts on it. It's, as far as like anticipation is concerned, this movie delivered. And if anything, that really proves that Zack Snyder can deliver on a great comic book experience if given the time to do so. This one was well worth the experience, man. I can't say I love every Zack Snyder thing out there. I mean, 300 is okay. BVS. Oh, God, BVS is shit. But I love Dawn of the Dead, man. I love Dawn of the Dead and Army of the Dead. Oh, man. Army of the Dead is the shit, bro. I love Army of the Dead. Oh, man. Army of the Dead is awesome, dude. When Zack Snyder does really great on a project, he really kills it. And this is one of those movies where, honestly, I would rank Justice League among the best of Zack Snyder's catalog. I don't know whether you agree or not, but it's a movie that needs to be experienced. It's just a damn shame that going forward in the DCU, this movie ain't gonna mean shit. And I think Warner Brothers is making a big mistake. I wonder what you guys think. Definitely let me know, man. Definitely let me know indeed. I'm curious. So much potential, and it's just gonna be thrown away like that? Seriously? That sucks, man. That really does, dude. Really does indeed. Well, Well, you got a little bit of love so far. Let's see what else they got. And on the other side of the new releases, more new release love. Oh, I'm definitely liking it with the 4K of Vertigo. 4K Blu-ray digital for $21.99. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital limited edition only at Best Buy Steelbook. Very nice for $25.99. Look at that. Down the spiraling rabbit hole of madness. Oh, great. Oh, man, what a fucking awesome horror experience this is, man. And I know that it's old school horror, and I know some people, when it comes to horror films, they don't like the old shit. I think the old shit is so awesome. I'm a fan of the old shit, and I think I'm a fan of it because there are so many movies that owe so much debt to Hitchcock and all those old filmmakers from back in the day. They owe them so much because they're still stealing their shit to this day, man. I mean, you look at something like Steven Spielberg in Jaws. There were scenes where he was aping off of Hitchcock. There clearly was. And Hitchcock has been redone, remade, reimagined. There's been stories and movies that may not be Hitchcock but take an element from him. There's been so many filmmakers out there who built their whole careers around being like Hitchcock. You look at something like a Richard Franklin when he directed Psycho 2. I mean, he was definitely aping off of Hitchcock in such a big bad way, man. And whether it's certain moments in the film, whether it's like the vertigo zoom, which really like just made you like just queasy, he really brought that and really gave you that really great sense of foreboding and unease. And he was one of the best that did it, man. And Vertigo is one of those movies that really highlighted that in a big, bad way, man. It really did. And he was the master of it. He really did. Even the opening credit sequences, like the Saul Bass opening credits, always really gave you that really great sense of hypnotic, hallucination, that you were entering yourself into this experience that was unlike any other. Hitchcock was so amazing, and Vertigo is one of the best, man. It really is, dude. Really, seriously. And to finally see more 4K love for Alfred Hitchcock, that is the best, man. It truly is, man. Really. And the exact same thing goes for Rear Window, man. I mean, God, just what great suspense and paranoia and madness that Alfred Hitchcock brought to these type of movies, man. A simple movie of somebody looking through a pair of binoculars on their neighbor turns into such a wild and vivid and suspense-filled adventure that really just has you on the edge of your seat. It really does, man. I mean, he took the idea of being a voyeur and upped it to the next level, man. And Alfred Hitchcock is that guy. And he was always somebody that pushed the limits of cinema for those times. He used all kinds of great effects, whether it was mechanical effects or miniatures or certain camera angles and tricks to make you wonder what you were actually watching and tricking your eye into believing the effect itself. He was a master at that stuff, man. He was a master at promoting movies and really getting your interest in. I remember things like Psycho and first time I ever saw the trailer for Psycho, and it's Alfred Hitchcock just taking you in the fucking house. He took you in the house, man, and was like, well, I heard this happen, and there was the body was just going down the stairs, and all the cracking of the bones, and he's just describing it, and you're just like, oh my God, what happened? And you're like, he was just one of those guys that was so creative and so ingenious in the way he was thinking, and how he made you really believe in the horror experience. He really was one of the most amazing, one of the best, man. And I tell you, you go watch so many movies out there after watching some of these Hitchcock tales, and you really do see the influences in a big bad way. You really do, man. I mean, his influence is still felt to this very day, man. I mean, John Carpenter was influenced by it, and obviously Tobe Hooper was, and a lot of the filmmakers today, like James Wan and everybody else, they are still being influenced by Hitchcock to this very day. That's how powerful that man is as a legendary horror filmmaker, man. And it's movies like Rear Window that are a really great education in horror, and a really great education in old school cinema. And as far as I'm concerned, as a movie lover in general, that you cannot just look at the present. You have to look at the past, because the past influences the present. And there's so many movies that really you would miss out on. So many great experiences you would miss out on if you just stuck with the present day stuff. And as a movie lover, it's those experiences that really inform the stuff that you watch now. And Hitchcock is some of the best stuff, man. Seriously, if you have not experienced Hitchcock, do it. You won't regret it. The Thing, baby. Look at this. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $21.99. Oh my God, man. I am one of the huge fans of John Carpenter's The Thing. Holy cow, man. I consider it one of his best movies of all time. I seriously do, man. This shit is amazing. God, I love The Thing. I love it so much, man. I really do, man. I gotta say, I think this movie, if push came to shove, it's easily in my top 20 favorite movies, maybe in my top 10, man. I love the shit out of this movie, man. I remember when I first saw this years and years ago when I was a kid. Oh my God, man. This shit fucked me up. Oh my God, I was like, man, talk about paranoia. I was like looking at my friends differently. I'm like, man, you stay the fuck away from my ass, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck you are. Like, man, talk about the ultimate experience in paranoia and craziness and madness and mistrust. Man, God, this is such an amazing film. And I mean, the acting alone is fantastic. I mean, the actors is great. If you ever wanted to see Wilford Brimley go fucking nuts, man, watch The Thing, man. It's great. And Kurt Russell is amazing here. I love him in here. I love Keith David. So good, man. So good, dude. And John Carpenter's direction, man. This was like at the height, in my mind, of like John Carpenter, man. This was a big studio film that he was directing. They were out in the hardcore, harsh, cold elements filming this thing, and the shit that he had to deal with, and the fact that they were like surrounded by near-death experiences constantly, trying to get to the set and dealing with the cold, and how everything was going wrong. Like, special effects ended up like getting screwed up constantly, and they had to redo stuff. Seriously, you cannot remake this type of movie now. You really can't, because it just is all CGI bullshit. I mean, they did it. It was called Thing. It was called The Thing, man. And they made that shit. And it was supposed to be like a prequel to this movie, and it's all just CGI creature effects, and it's just such a pale fucking comparison to this movie, man. They did it. And you know what that movie is. And this movie, man, just literally outshines the shit out of that, man. It really does. It's amazing. And the alien effects, holy shit. This is some of the best effects of all time. And Rob Bottin is a fucking master, man. The same guy who did the effects on like The Howling. The moment when that one alien dog is swallowing up the other dogs, and like they're morphing into this weird gelatinous monstrosity. Like, my god, man, that shit gave me nightmares, dude. I mean, the whole scene with like the blood test stuff where like the head is coming off and crawling, like when that guy said, "You gotta be fucking kidding me," I was saying the same goddamn shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, good god, man. It was crazy, the stuff they were doing, man. And again, like, that stuff was so revolutionary and still is for the time that it was made. And man, this movie is so wild and so amazing and creative and so well executed. Technically, this movie is a remake to The Thing from Another World, but honestly, those two movies, outside of being from sort of the same source material, really are two different movies in very big ways. I mean, I don't even really see this much as a remake, just as an original idea based off of that book and just spun it in John Carpenter's great horror ways that he knows how to do best, man. I mean, seriously, this is such an amazing goddamn movie, man. And I just love how basically you don't have all the perfect answers at the end. You don't know if the creature's defeated. I mean, you think you do, but who could be the Thing? Is Kurt Russell the Thing? Is Keith David the Thing? Maybe not. I love it, man. I just love the great effects here. I love the paranoia. And I just love the tension and the build-up. And it was just a great mixture of so many things, man. And when people tell you the 80s was awesome for horror, they ain't fucking shitting you, man. They are telling the honest to God truth, because it's movies like The Thing that make the 80s so well worth it, man. It really does, man. This is one of the best horror experiences of all time. This is one of the best sci-fi experiences of all time. This is one of the best alien terror films of all time. It's that goddamn good. It really is, man. Damn, do I love the shit out of this movie, man. And I am a Carpenter lover. I pretty much love 99% of the shit that Carpenter has done, and this is one of my favorites, man. I mean, look at that cover, dude. That cover is so fucking iconic. Look at that, man. I love that, dude. I mean, I already own the Scream Factory edition, so I don't know if I would plunk down the money for this, but if you guys have never seen The Thing, $21.99 is pretty goddamn solid, man, and you are in for one hell of a fucking ride, man. Let me tell you something, dude. As much as I love a lot of experiences nowadays as a movie lover, and a lot of the movies that come out, man, they pale in comparison to some of the old school shit, and The Thing fucking proves that, man. Oh, man, you got, a cool little Terror Takes Shape documentary. Very nice. I've seen that one. Great documentary, by the way. Outtakes and feature commentary as well. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, the old school feature commentary with Carpenter and Russell. Dude, any commentary with Kurt Russell and John Carpenter together is fucking gold, man. They have a ball talking about the movie, laughing their ass off, joking around. Man, you could tell that they are buddies and they just have a blast together, man. That's a one hell of a really great fucking commentary. That is, man. This movie, dude, oh, man, I just have so much love for this movie, and I highly recommend it to anybody, man, because it's just a wild experience, man. Oh, man, it will terrorize the shit out of you, and I fucking love it for that, man. God, still to this day, that movie is effective as shit, man. And that was 1982, man. It says a lot about Carpenter, man. When he makes a great fucking experience, he makes a great fucking experience, and that is a great fucking experience. That's for damn sure, man. God, some really cool old school stuff getting some 4K love. Not bad at all, man. Not bad indeed. I'm loving that. And loving the new release love so far. See if they got anything else. And on the back side, it does almost look like there's nothing new, but you'd be mistaken. You gotta search just a little bit, and you'll find a little new media love. Indeed you will, with Great White for $13.99, the Blu-ray. take your final breath. From the executive producers of 47 Meters Down. God damn. Jeez, I don't outright hate 47 Meters Down, but it ain't that good. A lot to be real, man. As far as like a shark attack movie, man, I've seen a hell of a lot better. Okay, let's put it that way, man. I mean, yeah, you got Katrina Bowden in here. I like the cover. I don't care what you're shooting at it, man. You're fucking lunch meat. Oh, God. They can smell your fear. Oh, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I watched it because it's a shark movie. I'm a sucker, and I think a lot of people are a sucker. I mean, with Shark Week and the fascination with these creatures, man, shark movies are just coming out constantly, every single year, man. And you put like a killer shark on the cover with vicious teeth attacking somebody, man, somebody's bound to buy that shit. I mean, come on, man, it's a no-brainer, man. This subgenre of horror practically prints money, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on, man. So I was like, sure, why not? I'll give it a chance, man. And part of me kind of likes the movie, and a part of me is like, man, this is just the same old shit over and over and over again. I mean, basically, it's about these tourists that go on this adventure in the seas, and they get shipwrecked and stranded, and basically, it's survive or be killed. Survival of the fittest. That's pretty much what it is, man. And there's good points to the movie, and there's bad points to the movie. I mean, at a certain point, some of the characters you like, some of the characters you don't. Some of the kills are cool, some of them are a little lame. The shark effects, I'm not gonna lie, there's moments where the shark effects are really cool, and then there's moments where the shark effects look straight out of a cartoon, man. I mean, there's moments it's really good, and there's moments where you're like, yeesh. Ooh, God, man. Man, what Hanna-Barbera cartoon did they steal this shit from? Like, what the fuck? It's a little bit sketchy at times, man. But when it's effective, I gotta admit, it's really effective, man. And the sharks, man, when they're terrifying, they truly are terrifying, man. It's generally a mixed bag of a movie, man. I mean, it's interesting with shark movies and the shark genre in general, right? Because, I mean, right from the get-go, the 70s, Jaws comes out, and it fucking blew everyone away. It really was the height of the genre, and it was the 70s, for Christ's sake. And everything after that has just paled in comparison to Jaws. I mean, truly. There has been some good stuff from time to time. I mean, look, The Shallows is not bad. I'll be honest with you, I mean, it's not perfect, but I kind of like it. I think Open Water is pretty good. Then again, there's shit like 47 Meters Down or Shark Night. You remember Shark Night? Ish. Yeah, don't. even like the later, like Jaws movies, or even like Cruel Jaws. Man, Cruel Jaws is shit. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Cheesy, ridiculously cheesy, might even be so bad it's good. Yeah, no, it's just bad, man. But well, at least you gotta give it up for the Hulk Hogan impersonator. But goddamn, man, I don't know. I mean, I appreciate what they were trying to do, and there's moments when it's really good, but there's certain like character stupidity moments and certain leaps of logic with the sharks. It's a mixed bag, man. It honestly is, man. And to be honest with you, the shark genre has been a mixed bag really since the first Jaws movie. I mean, honestly, there's been moments where there's been some great highs, and there's been a hell of a lot of lows. Where does Great White fit in? It fits in right in the average medium area. Not perfect, not terrible, but a nice little killer shark time waster. And let's be real, there's a lot more worse than there is average. So, honestly, I'll take what I can get. Then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of The Gateway for $15.99. He watches over her. Now they're watching him, and he's gonna have to bust out some badassness in order to beat the living shit out of him. Indeed he does, man. Now, I watched this on Amazon Prime. Why did I watch it? Well, to be fair, I don't really know why I watched it, because I really don't like Olivia Munn, man. I am not lying to you guys. I really don't care for her at all. I mean, the only thing I really ever liked her in was, like, the opening scene to Magic Mike, and I think you guys can see why. And also, she had, like, a small little blink and you'll miss it cameo role in Iron Man 2, and I'm like, oh, wow, she's great, because she's barely in it. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm not a fan of hers, man. But I do like Frank Grillo, and I really do like Bruce Dern. So I'm like, okay, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Now, when you look at this cover, it almost looks like a revenge thriller type of movie, but not really, because basically it's about this down-on-his-luck social worker who watches after these families that can't really do it for themselves. They're lower-class people, they don't have much means, and he's trying to help them out the best way they can. Bad situations, people in bad situations, essentially. And this one guy, this father of this family, gets back into his wife and kid's life, wife played by Olivia Munn, and this guy is a weasel. He's an evil dude, and he's peddling drugs again, and violence, and getting them in trouble, and basically hurting his family and the people around him. And this social worker steps in and basically tries to clean up the mess that this family is in, and if anyone gets in his way, God help him, man. I mean, that's pretty much what this is about, man. And honestly, I did really enjoy the movie. If you go into it looking at this cover and thinking that it's this, you know, hyper tension, action fueled revenge thriller, you're gonna be sadly mistaken, because it's not. The cover is kind of deceptive, not gonna lie, guys. But if you're looking for an interesting, dramatic thrill ride that contains a few decent action scenes in there, you won't be too disappointed. Honestly, Olivia Munn wasn't really that annoying in the movie. Shocker of a lifetime. I mean, I didn't love her in the movie, but honestly, compared to some of the other shit she's been in, I didn't really find her all that irritating, so that is a plus. But I do have to admit, Frank Grillo is barely here. He plays a sort of drug lord kingpin that is barely in the film, so if you think Frank Grillo is going to be majorly in this film, you're going to be disappointed. Bruce Dern, however, has a slightly bigger role, and I like him being this old, grumpy, mean son of a bitch with a heart of gold. Like, that's pretty much like Bruce Dern's whole career, like, right there, man. He does a really good job, man. But I gotta say, Shea Wiggum does a really fantastic job here. He's the main guy in here, and he does an amazing job. Really being somebody who has a really sordid past and somebody who has had a lot of issues in his life, but yet wanting to care for these people and do right by them, and the complications of that. I thought he did a really fantastic job, man. I mean, the action scenes are not amazing. There's a few here. There's like a chase scene here and there. There's some fight scenes where, you know, they use their fists and beat the shit out of each other. Some gunplay here and there. Some cool stuff, but nothing to write home about. It's a decent little indie dramatic action flick is pretty much what it is, man. It doesn't light the world on fire, but it isn't terrible either. I mean, it's got some good points to it, but it's one of those movies that's sort of like a rainy day flick. If you've watched a lot of these other action dramas and you're like, geez, I wonder what else I can watch. Oh, Gateway, then yeah. But again, it's nothing to write home about. But if you're looking for a little time waster, an hour and a half, and it's pretty much that, an hour and a half, it's got some good dramatic moments, the acting's decent, it's a decently thrilling story, and you get a cool action scene here and there. Honestly, for $15.99, it is what it is. They also finally got in Fear the Walking Dead, the complete 6th season for $35.99. Finally, I mean, The Walking Dead was getting kind of lonely. It needed its partner. It definitely did, man. And I'm gonna be real. As I said earlier, man, I've been let down by The Walking Dead, and so I'm very apprehensive to get back into the shit. I really am. It's not that I'll never do it. It's just that, I've got to commit to 6 seasons, and if it ain't good, man, am I gonna be pissed. Like, I really am, man. And to be fair, the zombie genre, man, the zombie genre really has taken a huge hit, hasn't it? I mean, I still love the zombie genre with all of my heart. There's a lot of old school zombie films that I really appreciate and I really love, man. I mean, it's not that you can't make a good zombie TV show or a zombie film. You can. It's been done. Train to Busan, anybody? It's possible. But it's few and far between. Back in the day, the 80s and the 90s, you had a shitload of them. They were coming out of the woodwork. Now, not so much. It's been kind of played out. It really has. And The Walking Dead has been played out. There's so many different spin-offs and different iterations of The Walking Dead now that it's sort of all become lesser than what it used to be. It kind of become a cash grab in a lot of ways. I mean, I really appreciate what they did by ending the comic book. Because by doing that, they basically set The Walking Dead in motion to end. And I really appreciate that. And I hope eventually Fear the Walking Dead will do the same. Because to me, a zombie show only has a short-lived time span to it. Because at a certain point, the zombies are no longer the focus, and the zombies take a back seat, and you're into the character drama bullshit, and suddenly what you came to the arena for, what you came to see the big main event for, the zombies, you no longer have it. And I kind of fear that to be The Walking Dead in a lot of ways. Again, I've only watched the first 8 or so episodes of the first season of Fear the Walking Dead, and it didn't impress me. It was pretending to be a zombie movie, but it was basically like this kid and his drug habit and this family drama, and I'm like, okay, when are we gonna get to the good shit? And I just sort of ended it, man. If a show doesn't really impress me within the first 8 to 10 episodes, then I'm out, man. And this didn't really impress me. I'm not saying it didn't get better, but it didn't impress me. I love some good zombie shit. Is this one of them, though? I don't know, man. You guys gotta let me know. Seriously, I love Lenny James. Love Lenny James with all my heart. Jericho. Love the shit out of Jericho, man. So Lenny James is my guy, man. And it kind of looks really fucked up. Like, man, talk about needing to go to the fucking eye doctor. Oh, jeez, man. Lenny, I'll give you my health insurance, bro. Just go. Jeez, man. I don't know, man. I like Lenny, but something tells me I may regret diving into it. Am I wrong? Am I right? I can't wait to get into some more good zombie shit, but man, I've been burned too many times, man. I just have been. You guys gotta let me know, man. Seriously. But not bad new release love this week. I mean, seriously, more than I was anticipating, and that's definitely a good thing. Not half bad this week. All right. Let's head out. Best Buy didn't do half bad this week. I mean, all things considered, they had a decent amount of stuff. Of course, they didn't have the one thing I really was hoping for was the Justice League 4K Steelbook, which would have been kind of sweet to check out. But I actually heard a couple of employees over on the side over here, I guess there was a customer that was looking for the Steelbook. Like, I think many people are looking for the Steelbook. And they were like, yeah, we don't have any, it's not on the website anymore, and so you might have to go on eBay for that shit. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll get some in, maybe not, but if you're looking for it and you're on a hunt, you better bust open that fucking wallet, man, because you're gonna need all the money you can get, man, because that Steelbook is flying on eBay, baby. I guarantee you it is. Oh man. Other than that, I mean, hey, we saw some exclusive Hitchcock Steelbook love. We saw some indie love. Hell, we finally saw Fear the Walking Dead here. Week late, but I'll definitely take it. Oh, we saw a few things. Hey, we saw John Carpenter The Thing love. Ah, good old 80s nostalgia on 4K. You can't beat it. Come on, guys. Some good stuff this week, all things considered. And definitely a bounce back from last week when, yeah, that shit was pretty rough, man. This is a much better week, to be fair, and a much better week pretty much all across the board. Not bad for the new release love for the start of September. It's looking pretty good, and hopefully it'll get even better. Not bad at all. Let's head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD. Out and about video this week, and my god, it was pretty good, wasn't it? I mean, some solid releases, a lot of indie love. The big name release of the week was pretty much at most of the stores, minus my terrible Walmart. But most of the places it was there, guys. Yes, sometimes we didn't see a lot of it, like we wanted to see the Steelbook love, but regardless, man, we got to see some really great stuff this week. And man, it's only the beginning of September. We're off to a great start for the fall, man. I mean, no lie, August had its moments of being really great, and there was some really solid releases to come out in August, no doubt about it. But man, it was a dead zone at times. It really was. And if physical media, if it's any indication by what this week has, man, we are going to be rocking and rolling with such great media ahead, man. I mean, seriously, it's going to be really awesome, and I cannot wait to see where physical media takes us for the rest of the year. I think it's going to be pretty damn sweet if this week is any indication, and I definitely think it is, man. There is weeks where there's going to be slowdowns. There is weeks where it's not going to be as plentiful as we like, but they will be few and far between. I think we're heading into a great time for physical media. I think with the sales coming up and a lot of really great releases from the summer finally hitting us, man, we're in for a wild ride, and I cannot wait, man. And there is some great releases this week, so hopefully you guys were picking up and checking out something good. If you were, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, I got a few releases worth checking out, guys. And the first one that I got, oh, and I've been wanting you for a little bit and decided to pull the trigger, and that is none other than Raya and the Last Dragon, the Blu-ray DVD digital from the Disney Movie Club with the exclusive only at Disney Movie Club slipcover. Very, very nice. Liking that, man. And on the inside as well. Oh, yeah. The nice artwork as well. Liking that, man. And I gotta admit, this movie, I loved the hell out of this movie, man. I am serious. Look, I've told you guys so many times that I'm not really an animated movie guy. That's kind of the truth, but not entirely. I mean, I'm an old school animated guy. I mean, back in the day, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Snow White, Cinderella, Mulan, Brave Little Toaster, Rover Dangerfield, All Dogs Go to Heaven. I mean, I like the old stuff. I really do. And a lot of the newer stuff over the years, some of it was good, but it never really hit me. And I found that, man, over the last like 2-3 years, man, a lot of stuff has really hit me in a big bad way. Stuff that really surprised me and has gotten me more into animated movies more than I ever thought I was gonna be. I mean, whether it was stuff like Coco or this movie, Luca, and many more, Soul as well, that has just kind of surprised me and has really brought me back into the fold as an animated movie guy, even though I thought I'd never really say that again. But it's movies like this that really have gotten me back into it, man. And I just love the hell out of this movie. I really do, man. I think it's creative. I think it's imaginative. I think it's very vivid, and I love the characters and how well drawn they are, and great characterizations, and they have great motives, and you understand them and you feel for them. I love the whole idea of hope and the idea of desperation and light versus darkness. And I think this movie does a great job of really making it good enough for kids, but yet a movie that adults could really embrace and really enjoy, man. And those are the animated ones that I really love the most, man. And this movie does it in spades, man. I think it's a really great message for kids. I think it's got all the right elements that any adult can really enjoy it and just dive right in. It's got the perfect elements to it, and I think in like 10 or 20 years time this is going to be a classic. There is no doubt about it, and I think Raya is going to fit right at home with the rest of the Disney princesses, and she will definitely have a place among the top ones in years to come. I truly do feel that, man, and this one is definitely a winner. The fantasy elements and the comedy and the great action, it has it all, and it's pure perfection, man. Pure. Very, very well done. I'm so glad I got it from Disney Movie Club and the exclusive slip, too. Ooh, I'm liking that slip, baby. You know, I love my slips, so an exclusive from Disney Movie Club, I had to do it. Indeed, I did, baby. So I got that. Not bad at all. The next one I got is kind of far off into left field, but man, do I remember loving this, especially back in the VHS days. And when 88 Films announced it, my God, man, I was like, eventually I have to get it. It's kind of a no-brainer, especially me being a fan of like the 80s and 90s. Talk about a weird sequel, man. And that is Short Circuit 2, baby. Oh my God. Oh, Short Circuit 2. Oh man, look at that. Good old Johnny Five, baby. And on the inside, hey, look at that great artwork, man. I love that artwork. Some say he's nuts. Some say he's bolts. But can number 5 make it in the big bad city? Keep your wires crossed. Oh my God, man. Look at that. Oh, Lord. Man, talk about a weird sequel, dude. It really, man. I can't quite say this movie is memorable because it really is, and especially compared to the first one, which is very much iconic and well loved. This movie is kind of quirky and offbeat, but I've always enjoyed it. I've always thought it was fun, adventurous, a little slapstick and ridiculous, but I kind of dug it, especially when I was a kid, man. And I haven't watched it in years, but again, when it got announced, I was like, "Oh man, I've got to get this for the collection." There's like no doubt about it, man. God, it's just taking a killer robot that becomes reformed and doing like a fish out of water situation where he's in New York City and he's like befriending this evil businessman, doing things for him, and then eventually the evil businessman turns on him and he's got to get revenge on the evil business dude. Like it's so weird and so odd of a sequel, and you kind of figure, how the hell did they come up with this stuff? And God bless their hearts, man, because I ate this shit up when I was a kid, man. I love this. I mean, yes, like I said, it's not as good as the first one, but there's something about it that has a certain charm to it that I really appreciate. This offbeat charm where you weren't expecting the sequel to go where it does, but it oddly works. I don't know. I've always liked it, man. I think Michael McKean is fun here. Fisher Stevens, I've always loved him in the first one and this one, and given him a larger role, having a love interest, you know, having a more of a relationship with Johnny Five. I've always loved it. I've always loved Johnny Five, man. What a quirky, weird robot character, man. I mean, Chappie, you ain't got nothing on this motherfucker. That's for damn sure, man. I've just always loved Johnny Five. I've loved the design of Johnny Five, and I've loved his personality and how he's always learning and figuring things out. And he's almost like he's almost like a little kid that's still continuously learning about life and rights and wrongs and people to trust and stay away from. And I kind of like that certain childlike sensibility that he has. But when he turns evil, oh my God, man, he's gonna go straight for your balls. Oh man, and it's just so good, man. I remember really loving it, and I had to have it in the collection. What a weird sequel, but man, there's been some weird sequels out there. Man, add Short Circuit 2 to the list, man. Man, what a great fucking movie. It really is, man. Odd, but so enjoyable, man. God, I love me some more Johnny Five. Why not add it to the collection? Why not, man? Hell, I'll take it. Got that, but last, certainly not least though. And man, when this got announced, you know I had to pick this up. The Warner Archives, man. Oh, you did good, brother. And that is none other than One Crazy Summer. Oh, look at this. Oh my God, I love that cover. Oh, I love that. Oh, so good. I got John Cusack, Demi Moore, Bobcat Goldthwait. They're the last bunch in the world you'd expect to win anything, but with this crowd, anything can happen. Oh man, oh man. God, do I love this movie, man. This was another one that was on heavy rotation on VHS, man. Not only on VHS, but like I watched it a shitload on cable. It was everywhere, man. What a great movie, man. And this is one of those movies that I fell in love with John Cusack. It's movies like this and Better Off Dead where I was like, it was like the 1-2 punch of like, dude, I fucking love John Cusack, man. And I just love the idea of these friends on this sort of summer vacation and all the wacky hijinks that they get into. Man, I have always loved this movie, and I've loved the chemistry between all of the guys. Demi Moore here is fantastic. I love Bobcat Goldthwait here, man. That was another one back in the day, man. Whether it was like Police Academy movies and this one, I just was like, man, Bobcat is one cool shit, man. He is awesome, dude. And I love where he like gets stuck in the like Godzilla outfit, and he's like, and like some guy flicks his cigar and it goes into his mouth, and he's like, ah! He's like going, I'm like, oh my fucking God, man. Or I love the guy in this movie where he's waiting to call into the radio station to win this big prize, and he's in the attic, and he's like smoking cigarettes. He's just waiting for the call, and it's like oh my fucking God, man. And then when he doesn't win, what he does is fucking awesome, man. I love that. Or I love the little girl with the dog. Oh my God, that. Or I love, the one thing I love the friend. Like the friend who is on the beach, and he always ends up getting stuck under this lawn chair where this really large chick just starts eating beans. and he's always like passing out and ready to die, and the paramedics are just like literally like, no, you do CPR. No, you no, no, you no, you do something. And then they'll do it, and I fucking love it, man. There's so many great moments in this movie of just pure hilarity that I fell in love with it the first time I watched it, and every time I watched it since, I thought this was like the best fucking comedy of all time, man. I really love the shit out of this. I thought it was pure perfection in so many ways, and I just love the idea of these guys coming together and having this wild summer vacation. And man, if my summer vacations were like this, man, God, I fucking wish. Jesus, man. And John Cusack is called Hoops. I mean, come on. It's like the best fucking name of all time, man. God, this movie is great. This movie is so amazing and so awesome. And oh, there's so many classic moments and classic characters here, and this movie is so long overdue to get a Blu-ray release, man. It really is. I am so jonesing to have this in the collection, man. Oh, dude, this is amazing. This is awesome. And guys, if you have never seen One Crazy Summer, it's one of the best comedies of all time. One of the best John Cusack movies of all time. and it needs to be seen to be believed. And it was like PG at the time, which is crazy to me. You look back at this movie and you're like, I don't know if this movie should have been like PG. It should have been like PG-13, but that was the great thing about the 80s, man. Like, so many movies that should have been like PG-13 that were like PG, which was so fucking awesome, man. Things that you cannot get away with now, they got away with back then, and it's so fucking awesome. Dude, God, love movies like One Crazy Summer, man. I'm so glad to have in the collection. That is amazing, man. And some really great stuff this time around. I mean, you know, old school John Cusack comedy, weird robotic sequels, and a little Disney animated love. A little variety to add to the collection. And before I let you guys go, I'm kind of interested to talk to you guys about this. This is an interesting article that I found through IGN, which I'm of two minds about. And I kind of want to dive into it a bit. Wonder Woman 1984 director says films released by streaming services look like fake movies. Let's dive in. Wonder Woman 1984 director Patty Jenkins says films released by streaming services look like fake movies. You don't say. This news comes by way of the LA Times, which reports that during a panel discussion hosted by the publication, Jenkins explained that all of the films streaming services like Netflix and HBO Max put out look fake. She said that releasing movies on streaming services isn't a working model. Okay. All the films that streaming services are putting out, I'm sorry, they look like fake movies to me. I don't hear about them. I don't read about them. It's not working as a model for establishing legendary greatness. Her words, not mine. Jenkins said this in response to Paramount Pictures' domestic distribution president, Chris Aronson, who said that once a movie is released on TV, no matter what it was originally made for, it's a TV film. Okay. The Wonder Woman 1984 director then explained that she feels Netflix and other streaming services do have a place in the entertainment media industry. The making of movies just isn't that place. I also have to deal to make things for Netflix because I really believe in limited series and television series. As a filmmaker, there are stories I want to tell that are longer and don't fit into the movie format. Streaming is great for massive amounts of content and binging TV shows. She does go on to say that making movies and making longer form content such as TV shows and limited series are two very different skill sets. She said she sees them succeeding as two very different things, not as formats that intermingle with each other. That's why I think it's a mistake for the film industry to throw away something so valuable. I think we have to be very clear about the absolute necessity for theatrical releases. I've talked to many filmmakers about all of us uniting, and if someone does guarantee a theatrical run, we will literally go out of our way and take less fee, all kinds of things, to guarantee that your film has a chance of success in this certain kind of way. I don't know. I understand what she's talking about, but to say that they have no place seems kind of wrong to me. Really wrong. Think about it like this, guys. I mean, put it into a context for a second. The film industry makes so much content per year. I mean, truly, they do. So much content that, unfortunately, doesn't always get a theatrical release. It doesn't always get a big budget movie studio proper release where you can see it in a movie theater with your popcorn and soda. That just isn't the reality. Not every film is going to get that. Does that mean that those films just get thrown away? No, I don't believe those films should ever get thrown away or even be tossed away and forgotten. What about the Netflixes and what about the Hulus of the world and all these other companies, Apple TV, that want this content? Do we just decide that if it's not going to be part of a theatrical experience that we can't give them to these other avenues? Is that where we're going with this? And also, you know, I talked about earlier in the video, I talked about Red Notice. and how Red Notice looks really action packed and it looks like, something that could be really fun and, high intensity. And I looked at that trailer, and that movie's coming out on Netflix, and that looks like a real movie to me. That's not a fake movie. That looks very real. HBO makes content, original limited movies that look like real movies. Hulu's done it. That looks like real movies. So what the fuck is Patty Jenkins talking about? I mean, I'm serious. I just don't understand her reasoning why putting something on a streaming platform would be a bad idea. Oh, well, they're not memorable? What do you mean they're not memorable, Patty? There is a lot of really great content that has come to a digital platform like Netflix and has immediately become iconic. Look at Roma. Look at The Irishman. Are you telling me those aren't iconic? Like Marriage Story? That's not iconic? I mean, come on, Patty. Or maybe she'll say, well, there's exceptions to the rule. Of course, you'll change your story, Patty. Of course you will. Look, at the end of the day, do you remember way back in the day when HBO was just starting out and they were, obviously putting on their platform, a lot of movies and TV shows and putting out content that was already out there, and they licensed a lot of stuff. And remember when they were trying to become legit? Remember when they were starting to make movies and how all of the industry got up in arms about it? They were like, HBO making movies, original content? Why would HBO do that? Once HBO does that, the whole system will crumble. And that never happened, guys. That never happened at all. That was such a false narrative that people in Hollywood put out at the time, and they were fear-mongering people so that, they wouldn't work with HBO. And it's the same thing now with Netflix and all these other companies. I mean, give Netflix a lot of credit, because Netflix saw a lot of stuff coming early on before a lot of shit went down. Like, they were one of the people that was licensing so much content and so much stuff from all these other companies and entities and putting it on their platform. And eventually they started to do a lot of original content, like House of Cards and a lot of other stuff that came after that. And a lot of people kind of looked at Netflix and they kind of scratched their heads a little bit. They're like, well, wait a second, why is Netflix doing this? If they have all this amazing content that they've licensed and it doesn't look like it's going to run out anytime soon, why are they doing it? If they're the only game in town, why would they start making original content? They have all the licensed stuff. And Netflix saw where the business was going. They knew that eventually they weren't going to be the only game in town. They knew they were going to have competition. And they knew that if they didn't start on the bandwagon now to get original content and to start amassing all that infrastructure to make all of the original stuff and to have a home for it, then they were going to be shit out of luck when all these companies would eventually take their content back, in which they did. And so Netflix was smart about that. And Netflix has made some really great, wonderful content out there that I think is just as good as some of the stuff that you've seen, in a movie theater. Something like The Babysitter is amazing. Gerald's Game, which I love. Hush. Hush is a really fantastic horror suspense thriller that I can prop up there with, like, The Strangers and a lot of other content, man. I mean, don't tell me for a single second that something that goes to a streaming platform is fake. Patty forgets the fact that we've been in a fucking pandemic. Okay, Patty tends to forget that some of these companies didn't want to gamble on some of these movie theaters being shut down, and that some of these movies might not make the money, so they gave them to these platforms. That's not necessarily a bad thing. They still found a home. They still found an audience. And if you promote it the right way, then people will see it and word of mouth spreads. Any movie worth its weight in gold, I don't care whether it's theatrically released or on a streaming platform. If it's good, people are going to find it. If it's good, you guys out there are going to spread the word on it through social media, and it's going to get eyeballs on it. What is Patty saying? Well, it's not really that well promotable, and I don't really hear about it. What kind of bubble are you living in? What bubble are you living in? I don't get it. I mean, it's the pot calling the kettle black in a lot of ways, because you say those movies look fake and that there's no place for movies on these streaming platforms, but you made a movie that just because it was on a streaming platform, you got pissed about that. And you said, well, my movie could have been so much bigger and so much greater if it was just in movie theaters, and doing this stuff where it's on the streaming platform as well, it just doesn't work. No, it didn't work because your movie sucked ass. That's why it didn't work. Because your movie sucked, okay? That's why. If your movie was good, trust me, it would have gotten a lot more eyeballs on it, and a lot more praise, and a lot more good word of mouth out there in the realm of social media. It didn't. It got shit on, and for a good reason, Patty. Just because your movie didn't do as well as what you wanted, and just because you failed to make a successful Wonder Woman sequel, doesn't mean that you gotta shit on other people. I guarantee you when Red Notice comes out, it's going to look amazing on your 75-inch, 85-inch TV. And you're not going to worry for a single second that it looks fake. Okay? You're not going to worry about that, man. That's just not even going to happen. Okay? And I guarantee you that a lot of these great movies out there that has been made for these platforms, they look theatrical. Spike Lee has made movies for streaming platforms. Martin Scorsese has made movies for streaming platforms. And there's a lot of more filmmakers out there that are going to do it. I mean, Steven Spielberg is going to do it. He's out there already. And you have a lot of other voices out there in the community, these creators who are making content, movie content out there for them. Why? Because there's a certain level of freedom that these platforms give you. I mean, look at Martin Scorsese. Do you think in any way, shape, or form, unless this was back in like the 70s or early 80s, do you think that anybody, any major studio head of a company would give him over $200 million to make The Irishman over 3 hours long? No goddamn way. They would never do that. But Netflix did, and Netflix trusted in him, and it paid off in spades. He's literally making movies now for Apple TV and all these other platforms because he sees the freedom and the creativity in it. There's a certain level to that creators like, and it frees them up, and it gives them a little bit more leeway than they wouldn't originally have. Get out of here about this whole, well, they're fake movies. They're only fake because you say it's fake. I guarantee you somebody watching Netflix right now or Apple TV or Hulu is saying the exact opposite. Oh my God, look how great that movie is. My God, it's amazing. Chris Hemsworth has been in great stuff for Netflix, movies that people have really loved. Steven Soderbergh has made stuff that has gone to HBO Max. I've seen Godzilla vs. Kong on my TV on HBO Max. Didn't look fake to me. Maybe my eyes are fucked up. Who knows, guys? But, I'm a big fan of the theatrical experience. And I don't want to lose that. But at the same time, I appreciate the fact that these companies are still making content out there, and that these streaming platforms have a place for movies that might not get love any other place, might not get love in the movie theaters, but they'll find a home regardless. And I truly feel that every single movie, good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter, deserves a home, deserves to be seen in one way or another by somebody who's going to appreciate it. And these streaming platforms give it a chance to have a life. And that's important. And to say that movies don't have a place on these platforms is just an ignorant statement to me. And it it just goes to show you that, you know, somebody who is a great director in their own right can't see the bigger picture. And if everybody was like Patty Jenkins, if everybody was that ignorant about the world and how we can't have nice things unless they're in a movie theater, really doesn't see the point. And there are so many movies out there from the past that were only put on VHS or were only on cable that became classics. Movies that got snubbed at the box office, that literally found a home on home video and became classics because of it. Look at John Carpenter's The Thing. There's proof positive of it. So don't tell me that if it's not in a movie theater, that it can't get the same kind of love and admiration and respect and status that ones in the movie theater can get. Don't tell me that, because that's the wrong way to think. You know, we can debate streaming versus theatrical all we want, but at the end of the day, you have to appreciate the fact that the streaming platforms are willing to give these movies a chance where other avenues are not going to do. And I really do appreciate that, guys. I really honestly do, man. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, there's so much content out there, and not everything can be on a movie screen. Sometimes the comfort of your home is just as good, and the fact that you still get to experience it is worth it. So don't forget that. Don't forget the fact that these movies on these streaming platforms, that they deserve just as much love as the ones in movie theaters. And sometimes they're just as good, if not better. So Patty, I respectfully disagree with you. You're a good filmmaker, but you got this one all wrong. I'm curious as to what you guys think about that. I just think it's a really ignorant statement that really, unfortunately, doesn't really take into account just how hard work it takes to make a film and for it to be seen by the public in any way, shape, or form. And sometimes, even though it might be on a Netflix platform, doesn't make it less of a film. Sometimes it's just as good, and it can get the same amount of respect. I'm just saying. I wonder what you guys think. Definitely let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos I do every single week. Theatrical movie reviews with my friends, movie hunting like Dollar Tree hunts, Blu-ray pickups, live streams, and much more. If you are a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my great subscribers out there. You guys are amazing, awesome, watching all of the videos, the great comments, the feedback. You guys are amazing. You guys make this channel what it is, and I cannot thank you enough. You give me the love, and hopefully I give the love right back to you. So thank you beyond words. I truly appreciate the support that you give me every single week. It keeps the channel going. It really honestly does, man. So your support means a great deal to me. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do that. Also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I make a video. Also keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if you would like to send the channel any movie related love, posters, care packages, physical media, you name it, you can do that. The description for the P.O. Box is down below. You guys have told me so many times how much you wanted to send me stuff and where I could give you guys an avenue to do it, and I created the P.O. Box, and you guys have sent some of the most amazing things my way, things that I never thought I'd get in a lifetime, and you guys have amaze me at every single turn. It's not expected, but it is appreciated, and all of it goes in the collection. Every single bit of media, anything you give me, guys, I never get rid of, I keep. Because you guys mean that much to me, and what you send me means that much to me that I'm never gonna get rid of it. Trust me, I've gotten some stuff that I don't like Hostel 2. I don't like Hostel 2, but yet I kept it in the collection because one of you guys gave it to me. You guys mean the world to me, and anything you send me, I truly do appreciate. So thank you, and if you want to send anything my way, down the description below. But other than that, guys, I gotta tell you, what a great physical media week. So much great stuff to see. And let's hope the train keeps rolling. And I will see you back next week for a brand new Out and About video. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.